Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to have a flat earth discussion / debate with someone whose Papa Flerf is Eric Dubay. So, you know, it's going to be full of lies and stuff, I guess. I've asked him to bring his best evidence of flat earth provided by the flat earth guru himself. So it's going to be fun. Yeah, anyway, make sure you stick around and like the stream if you haven't already, and subscribe if you're not already, and share the stream to get more people here. Now, this is a live stream, which means that you don't really get a choice as to what happens. However, if you're watching this as a VOD, you can just skip the next 90 seconds or so, because it's going to be an intro. But if you're here watching, there's a rule. Very, very simple rule. The intro plays, and you have to dance, because if you don't dance, I'm sending Eric Dubay to your home. But if you do dance, I'm going to give you a cookie. A chocolate cookie.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm FTFE, and I argue with people that think the Earth is flat because I guess I hate myself for some reason. First off, I want to do a little apology, basically. A few months ago, about 4 months ago, I did a debate with a flat earther known as the Globe Slayer. During the debate, I promoted his balloon launch that he was going to do, and encouraged people to support the balloon launch with donations. Turns out it was a scam. And I promoted a flat earther that was lying. I mean, I should have seen that coming, right? It's kind of their MO. But yeah, so if you donated to the Globe Slayers balloon launch fund, I highly encourage you all to charge back whatever method you used to donate. Because basically he took thousands of dollars from people and then disappeared from the internet. No way. Yes. 100%. Stoops the cat does not believe me. But yeah, it is absolutely true. He said he was going to do a balloon launch, lied about it, didn't do it, and then disappeared from the internet after taking what I think was about $3,400. This isn't the first time that flat earthers have scammed people, and I want to put a big apology out because I took him at his word and believed that he would, in fact, do the thing that he was saying to do. I'm always up for flat earthers doing their own tests and encouraging them to test things for themselves, so I was quite excited when a flat earther decided to actually do a test. However, turns out he's a liar, took the money, ran away, deleted all of his social media, and, you know, everyone that donated has basically been scammed. So I'm sorry if I encouraged you to donate to that, and if you did donate, please, if you're able to, charge back your donation and report the FundMe link, which I can't find anymore. But if you can find it for your credit card or whatever, report it as fraud, because he was a scammer and I fell for it and encourage you guys to fall for it as well. So I'm very sorry about that. Anyway, back on with what we're doing here today. We have with us the illustrious Stoops the cat. Hello, Stoops. How are you?
Okay. Can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So I was still on Twitter when they did the first one. They did the first launch. And it I can't remember what happened. The camera ended up not working. They did the launch. They showed the video of it, but something happened with the camera, and
Mm.
I was gonna be involved in that one, but it was too hard to get like a deadline down. Nobody wanted to decide on a date or anything, so I just said screw it. But I was gonna go down to, I think they did it at North Carolina or something. So I was gonna go down there and do it with them. So they did do one, but you're saying that they said they were gonna do another one,
Yeah, well,
and
they said they were going to do the first one, but for some reason, no camera footage ever appeared, which is suspicious enough. And then the second one, which raised almost twice the funds, he claimed that it happened, but the footage was distorted, and he was sending it away to be recovered. And then all of a sudden, all of his social media just disappears. So,
really,
yes,
oh, that's
suspicious.
fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
That's
So
fucked up.
if you're a flat earther or a glober and you donated to Globe Slayer's attempt to scam everybody, please take your money back because they don't deserve it. Thank you, Emma M, for your €5. I do appreciate it. Hearts back at you. J Trance for $2. £2 says, I'm FTFE. There's not really a super chat target. There is a super chat goal. See what you think about it. Hello to everyone on TikTok that has joined. Do me a favor and share the live. That will help get more people in. I do appreciate it. Right, so today I would like to have a discussion with Stoops about Eric Dubay. Because, Stoops, you constantly push Eric Dubay as some pinnacle of flat earth knowledge, someone that you clearly listen to a lot, and you got very, very excited when another dumbass that was on Joe Rogan's show mentioned him. So I really want a discussion with you about why you hold Eric Dubay up as this, obviously some kind of pinnacle of intelligence when literally everything he says is a lie. And I would love you to give some of the things that have convinced you that, you know, he's not lying, so we can go through them. Because I think I can save you, Stoops. I think I can save you from the cult of stupidity that you have fallen into. Because the Earth's not flat.
Okay.
And if you're looking at Eric Dubay as people to look up to, then there's issues here that need addressing.
Okay. Well, I don't know if I look up to Eric Dubay, but he is like, as that guy, Roger Avery guy said on Rogan, like Eric Dubay's the flat Earth guy. That's the guy.
Not
You know,
really.
so if anybody gets, he's gonna get quoted a lot. He's the fucking, the one everybody. So I mean, the dude said it himself. You should have Eric Dubay on, and I think he should. I don't think Eric Dubay. I mean, I guess it would be okay if he went on there alone, but I think it would be better if somebody with like Neil deGrasse Tyson or whoever
Me. Neil deGrasse
fucking nerds
Tyson
look
is
up
an actual
to.
scientist, and they're far
Or
above
you,
flat
he
earthers.
did mention because that Avery guy brought up Dubay's book, the proof book,
Book.
and through the conversation, eventually you hear Rogan's that Jamie guy say, well, there's a bunch of anti-flat Earth channels that have debunked all of those things, and I'm assuming he was talking about people like you and Professor Dave
Yeah, I have
and
actually
stuff.
spoken to Jamie
So
in DM.
I was gonna say they've seen
So
you.
yeah, I know that Rogan is aware of me because he has liked a couple of my tweets and stuff in the past. But if Eric Dubay ever got on, then I think he should have someone like me on with him to counter the bullshit that he pushes.
Well, okay, but to be fair, I think more people, no offense, I think more people probably know someone like Neil deGrasse Tyson
Yeah,
or
but
even
like I
fucking
said, Neil
Brian
deGrasse
Cox or
Tyson's a
something.
scientist. Neil deGrasse Tyson is an astrophysicist. Neil deGrasse Tyson is far above talking to flat earthers, where I don't mind scraping the barrel. So
You think
there
that's
is
why he
that.
doesn't do it? You think that's why he won't have a conversation with
Yeah,
him?
he knows the Earth is a globe. He's an astrophysicist. He doesn't need to prove to flat earthers that the Earth is a globe. He doesn't need to waste his
I
time.
don't
He's
know,
got
man.
much
It's
more
kind
important
of
things to do.
it kind of seems like somebody might need to because there's a lot of people that are,
Yeah,
you know,
it's going down though. It's really lost its steam recently, especially since the final experiment.
I
But
don't think
just
so,
quickly
man.
about that Avery guy, he's definitely not someone that should be looked up because he was convicted of manslaughter because of a DUI. Thinks chemtrails are real, doesn't think that global warming is a thing, and is really not a very smart person that should be looked up to in any way, shape, or form. It's no wonder he thinks the Earth is flat because he is a disgusting trash human being like a lot of the flat
But
earthers
didn't
are.
he help write like Pulp Fiction? Are you one of those people that can't separate the art from
Oh
the
no,
artist
I
type
think
deal?
Pulp Fiction's a great fucking movie. But yeah, I can absolutely separate the artist from the art. Pulp Fiction is one of the most classic movies of all time. But just because Avery was involved in that, I'm not going to say I like Avery. Avery is a scum human being. Like I like the song "I Believe I Can Fly," but R. Kelly is a pedophile. So
Well, I don't think, I mean, I don't like Roger Avery. I just thought it was interesting that he actually brought up arguments that flat earthers use on Rogan when usually, it's dismissed pretty quick. He got a pretty good chunk of time talking about it on there.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to be
And
covering that on Friday when I attempt to record stream. That's one of the things I'm going to be going over that podcast with Joe Rogan because
well,
it's full of a lot of stupid.
most of the points like that you're going to ask me what points Eric Dubay has made that
Yeah,
I believe, and then you're going to go in and you're going to tell me why they're wrong. Well, the ones that I was going to bring up anyway are going to be the ones that Avery quoted on Rogan. So, I
yeah.
mean, I want to.
I want to, obviously, I like listening to the way that it's phrased by these particular dumbasses that get the big platforms and
Sure.
responding to that in kind. But obviously, I also like to hear it from people like you that have heard it through somebody else that heard it through somebody else. It's almost like Chinese whispers. And a lot of the times, say you give me something that you think Eric Dubay said, you might even get it wrong because you've heard it from somebody else who's then heard it from somebody else who heard it from Eric Dubay. And Eric Dubay is a liar. I mean, I think I pointed out to you before the lies that
Yeah,
he's
you
told.
said that a lot. Yeah.
I've not just said it. I've proven to you that he's a liar. I've shown you where the lies are. So I'm still
Uh,
quite surprised that
you
you've.
showed me why you believe he's a liar.
No, no,
You
I
did
showed
do.
you
You
factually
did.
why he's a liar. I showed you where the lies come from. I showed you the geographic locations that he claims that things are done from that he lied about. I explained to you the photographs that he showed where he lied about the locations and the heights and everything. I have, maybe you should go back and watch the previous conversation we had because I watched it in preparation for talking to you. But, there is many things that Eric Dubay doesn't just get wrong, but outright lies about. So it is surprising that you are still kind of listening to Eric Dubay. I would say that Eric Dubay is your Papa Flerf. He's the one that you seem to quote a lot and
Well,
stuff.
again,
So
as that guy said on Joe Rogan in front of like a million people now, like he's the flat Earth guy. So of
yeah,
course he's going to get quoted more than anybody else would. Like
I think Dave
who else
Weiss
would
is
I
more
even
the
quote?
flat
Like
Earth
who are
guy
the one?
nowadays.
What other flat earthers get quoted? Or, I mean, like,
Dave
am I even
Weiss.
quoting stuff directly from him? I mean, I've
Well,
heard some of these points from him, but I don't think I've heard them all from him.
and
I
even
learned
the
some.
things that he says are just regurgitations of Samuel Rowbotham. From
Okay.
a couple of hundred years ago, which were debunked a couple of hundred years ago. But if we're going to say who's the flat Earth guy at the moment, I'd say it's more than likely Dave Weiss, the human potato hybrid.
Oh, right. Yeah, we talked about him before too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a few super chats to catch up with quickly. We've got a triggered flat earther in the chat who has given me 1, 2, 3, 4 super chats. Thank you very much. All just saying the word phony, spelled incorrectly, but I appreciate it. Keep going, you triggered little princess. He has been constantly messaging me on Facebook saying that he thinks he is God, which is incredibly stupid and maybe somebody should do some kind of welfare check on him. Of course, if he is God, then me and him are going to be fighting and I'm throwing the first punch. So we've got the Mojek for £4.99 says Brandolini's law holds that the amount of energy needed to refute bullshit is an order of magnitude bigger than to produce it. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, it really doesn't take much to fucking debunk the stupidity of flat Earth. That's correct. And then we have Alison Aviation for $5 says somebody still falls for Eric's BS. Has he found a functional flat Earth based map to show off? No, he hasn't. Nothing that Eric Dubay says holds up to any kind of scrutiny. Eric Dubay is just a master of ignorance and really bad editing. But anyway, Stoops, yeah, what is the reasons why you still like to quote Eric Dubay? Let's get into that.
Uh, I don't know about quoting Eric Dubay, but the flat Earth point is it's still high altitude footage. That's That's
But
probably my go-to.
all high altitude footage with a non-fisheye lens shows the Earth's curved. All of it, without fail. Even a lot
Well,
of
I've
stuff
seen
that flat
some with
earthers show.
I've seen some without curve.
Could you
I've seen
present
videos
one?
without curve.
Yeah, well, I
Huh?
guarantee that those videos will either be a 3D camera or a fisheye lens,
See, yeah.
or you know, a 360
This
camera,
is
not
what it
3D, sorry,
always comes
360
down to.
camera.
Like, this is the problem. This is where the debate stops usually because I I believe that they're not using any sort of phony lens. I think they're setting up like a rectilinear lens or whatever that doesn't have
But
fisheye.
if they were, then they'd be showing the details of the lenses. Like when my friend Mr. Sensible sent up his
Right.
balloon with,
So
you know,
that's
he literally gave the details of the camera, showing exactly
yeah.
what lens was used, and you know, it even offered to sell that camera and lens to the highest bidder, which I think somebody did get. So, you know, if these flat earthers were using non-rectilinear, non-fisheye lenses, then they would be telling us what cameras they use. But without fail, every flat earth video that is a high altitude footage is either clipped from somebody else's, which then actually shows that it's curved.
There's none. Nobody has shown the camera before they sent up a balloon.
The ones that have absolutely show a globe. Like there was a guy recently on Twitter, I can't remember his name, X or whatever you want to call it, who sent up a balloon and literally showed the curve of the Earth and then went, haha, that shows the Earth is flat, whilst there was a curve there. There is no high altitude footage that exists that shows a flat Earth that has anything that is other than fisheye. You know, otherwise, again, they would show the camera, they would give the details of the camera. None of them have
Well, I
that.
would say that's one of the biggest things that people probably get hooked with is the high altitude footage. And I think it is, I mean, there are videos out there that show a flat horizon at
Well,
like,
do you
you know,
have any that
30.
you could just we could go through? Any that you like to show?
Um, Not offhand, I don't. But
Well, I mean, you should
I
really
mean,
be
there's
kind of collecting those. If those are your biggest bits of evidence, those are things that you should have ready to talk to people about. You know, again, I can bring up, you know, countless right now. Literally, I can, if you want me to, I can bring up the one that literally showed you what the camera was, showing that not only did it show the Earth's curve, but it matched the predictions of what you
I
would
mean, okay,
expect to
so I
see
mean, we're
at a
talking.
particular height.
You wanted to talk about Dubay anyway, just go to his channel. He's got plenty of them on there.
Yeah, again, Dubay never shows anything other than fisheye. So let's go to Eric Dubay and see if he's got any camera
There's
footage. No, not Epic Games. Eric
there's
Dubay.
quite a bit.
Surely you can point me in the direction of just one video in particular of his.
Yeah. I think it's just if you type in probably his name and then high altitude footage.
All
I'm
right, let's
trying to
try
get to
that.
his channel.
Because I guarantee you, he will never. He's okay. Here's one: best high altitude flat Earth footage. So
Yeah,
let's
that's the
bring
one I
this
was looking.
up.
That's the one I was looking for.
Right, let me get that on the screen so that my audience can see it. So just bear me 1 second.
So people are seeing these videos and they're like, "Wow,
Let me
really?" I mean,
share
there's
it
what,
to you.
and you're saying that
You
because they
can see
didn't
that on your
show.
screen as well, right? Just to make sure.
I can't see it.
Wait, am I not showing you the right camera? Hold on 1 sec.
It's okay. I mean, I unless you need me to see it. Yeah, I guess like there
That
it
one,
is. Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, no information about what the camera is. And
Okay, well maybe this person didn't like
okay, now
think
let's
about
take a look
that.
at this screenshot right here. All right, just pausing
I
it
don't
right
think it's a
there.
screen.
No, no, it's not.
Oh,
I've just paused it. So let's
okay.
analyze what we see here. Tell me what you see.
I see a thin blue line, some
Right.
sand,
I'm gonna just check
sand
with
dunes,
a
maybe.
flat edge and okay. So yeah, that would suggest the Earth's a ball because that actually curves up at the edges.
I mean, I don't see that.
You got anything straight that you can put against it, like a ruler or something? It's higher up at the edges than it is in the middle.
I don't know, dude. Yeah, so these are the things people are saying. You're saying that if they would
Look,
have
you
put the
can.
camera at the bottom, would you have accepted this if they would have shown you
Well, if they
what
show
kind
me
of
what the
camera?
camera was, I'd love to, but I can literally see by looking at it right now it curves up at the edges, which says that it's a fisheye lens. It's not a it's not a non-rectilinear lens. It is a lens that distorts
Well,
the
it is
view.
moving. I mean, I think it's moving back and forth, so there's probably some motion getting caught there. Like
It's
when you
not
hit
going
pause.
fast enough for that to happen.
It's wobbling around.
Yeah, but you only
Well,
get that kind
look,
of
they
thing.
got the little damn stick
Yeah.
antenna thing.
Oh wait, this is dog cam, isn't it? Yeah. So the dog cam, when you actually watch the whole footage, it clearly shows that the Earth's a globe, but you can literally see how it's curving up at the edges there.
Well,
But
how long is this video?
this video is 22 minutes, and it's actually a few different videos put together.
Right.
Well, this one is fantastic because you can actually see it curving the opposite way there. Let me just put my straight edge against it to check. Right, yeah, so that one has, at the edges, it's curving down slightly. You can literally see it in the atmosphere, especially on the left there, you can see it curving down compared to the middle. So that would go against the Earth being flat, which is interesting.
Well,
And now here's Eric
what
making
does
a
it say
claim.
what altitude it's at?
Well,
Okay.
he
Look.
doesn't have any details.
So it shows the fisheye, and
Yeah,
then
but
a normal
again,
lens.
he's saying he's not given any details. He's just put over it fisheye.
Okay, so what we need to do, it sounds like, is try to get that together without ripping people off like Globe Slayer did.
Very simple. You just go here. So this is Mr. Sensible, and he did exactly what everyone's been asking for. Right, and this is where the camera's looking out from.
Okay.
And in front of the camera, right, you see you've got these two strings, right, which are straight.
Yeah. Strings.
So the way that we can tell if just to show you, if you go into the details here, he gives the details of the cameras that are in here.
Okay, well maybe those other people, didn't think about that.
I mean,
Maybe
that's
if
a
you
pretty
would've
dumb
asked
thing
them-
to do, right? But so if those strings are straight, anything in between those strings, as long as those strings stay straight on the video, what's between those strings would be real, right? It would prove that it's a non-fisheye lens.
As long as the camera was straight.
Well, if the strings are straight, then whatever's between them is also going to be straight, right?
Well, I mean,
And look at that.
as long as the camera's straight on, it
And
looks pretty
interestingly,
flat.
what
Yeah.
this shows, you don't see the curve there. What this shows is when it's below and when it's above and when it's in the middle, and he's even compressed it together to show that it's all straight, right? But if we go to the money shot, which is my favorite bit, where I should probably save that as a timestamp, actually. Because there's a part where he shows it against the predictions of the globe. Where is it? I can never remember where that bit is. It's not back there, it's too far back.
That old man's lying. Whatever, Craig.
Yeah, Eric DeBay is definitely lying. We know that for a fact.
That old man looks like he's,
Where is it?
never mind. I'm not going to be mean to that old man.
He's a good guy. He's a really, really good guy, Mr. Sensible.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I've yet to meet somebody with a Glober with a channel that wasn't like, kind of an asshole to people. But
I mean, I'm assholes
I'll
to
take
people
your
that
word
need to
for
be
it.
assholes. I'm an asshole to people that need being an asshole to, like, most flat earthers who are generally
catch
horrific
more
people
flies
that
with
scam
honey,
others.
Craig. That's all I'm saying.
What's that?
You could probably turn a lot more flat earthers over to your side if you were just nicer.
No, I
about
tried
it, to
being
be
nice.
honest.
That didn't work. Oh my god, why can't I find the bit that I need? All right, let's just show this bit.
I don't know. I think that old man's a liar anyway. We're not proving anything here.
Well,
I wish
apart
that
from the fact it
Globe Slayer
shows
thing
that the
wasn't-
Earth's a globe, it literally shows the curved, Earth with proof that it's a non-fisheye lens. So, I mean, is that not what we want?
I mean, again, this is a video that's been paused, and when cameras spin around, stuff gets warped around. So if it's moving and swaying at all, it could
But
affect,
all through the video, the regardless of the swaying, the up and down, it always stays with the Earth. Here we go. So this is the money shot, right? This is it against the predictions of what we expect on the globe, and it matches it. They predicted what the curve should be, and when it went up there, at the particular height that they said, it matched the predictions.
How much curve is there at that height? What is that height?
That is just on just under 35,400 meters.
So you should be able to see some curve from like if a plane at like 40,000 feet. I guess they only go up to 35.
That's feet, not meters. This is kilometers, not feet. So this is
35.
This is 35,000 meters, not 35,000 feet.
Okay.
So it's a lot higher. This is, no plane could fly
like
this high
120?
because it shows you what the atmosphere here is, and there's no way that a plane would be able to fly in that low of an atmosphere. So a plane would never be able to get this high. But
Right.
again, so this is, and the whole video, even the raw footage is available. He showed the entire thing on his channel and was happy to give the raw footage out, right? So it just goes to show that,
Well, I think if you're trying to say that middle line right there is meeting that was their guess, right?
Yeah.
That middle line. Well, if you're saying it's matching that curve, if you look at the edges though, some of the horizon is still
well,
above
to be
that line.
specific, the prediction was about 1,000 meters higher than the camera managed to get. So the prediction was slightly higher, but you can see that it's almost there at just under 1,000 meters down, and the curve is 100% there. So if we take away the prediction line, you can still see that there's an exact curve there, right? So the prediction was at about 37,000 meters, whereas this camera was at 35,161. And it almost matched. But even at 35,161 meters, you can clearly see throughout the middle there that there's a curve. If you've got something straight on you right now, put it against the screen and look at it yourself. But most importantly, he gave all the details of the camera, showed the setup, showed exactly what was happening. I don't know why he's showing a bag of dog treats there. Not really sure. Showed the way that they were telling what it was and how they knew that it was still straight. No flat earther has ever done this.
I agree that
any flat earther that has
that.
put up a high altitude balloon with a non-rectilinear lens, which I think one has, showed the curve of the Earth, and then said, "Oh well, it's just a circle, and you can see the edge of it," which would mean that the flat Earth has an edge that we could definitely find, and would be pretty small.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I have not seen that video.
All right. But there's lots more I could easily bring up, but there's nothing Eric Dubay ever shows that ever gives any kind of information of any kind.
Well, I mean the video of his that you had just pulled up, that was something that he showed people, and that's.
But he gave no information about the cameras, and then he claimed that there was a fisheye versus normal with no information about what the cameras were or how that fisheye was got. And that's what Eric Dubay does, is he relies on being vague and hoping that people would just believe him.
So he just came out with another video, and it was recent. I think it was a couple days ago, and he's trying to add proofs, and he's requesting that people in the flat Earth community send him their own proofs to add. So he's trying to get the community involved.
I mean, his first 200 have been debunked already, though. Like, literally every single one of his 200 proofs have been thoroughly debunked. A lot of them are lies. Like, for instance, a lot of the lighthouse proofs, the lighthouses don't even exist anymore. So there's no way to even check if what he was saying is anywhere near remotely true. You can go through a lot of the proofs. I remember, I think it's number 34, when he's talking about a photo taken somewhere in Spain. And he's claiming that it was taken at ground level, but when you actually look up the photo, it was taken at over 1,000 meters up, and things like that. And if the Earth was flat, then why would he need to lie? And then all the other proofs are things just like misunderstanding of physics and hoping that people believe his misunderstandings of physics. Nothing that Eric Dubay has ever said has ever had any substance to it. Anything that you can scrutinize or check. He just wants you to believe what he says, which is ironic because he's constantly saying about thinking for yourself. Yet no flat earther has ever thought for themselves. They just quote other people. Dude, I've been off weed for like 50 days. You're going to smoke in front of me?
Yeah, I have to smoke talking to you.
What a dick.
Yeah. So one of the things that the Avery guy on Rogan that apparently convinced him enough to bring it up on his show was that Rogan said something about, well, you should. I mean, we've seen curvature. We've seen it from the International Space Station. They've shown it, and then the Avery guy says, well, actually,
the DUI manslaughter guy, yeah.
Yeah, it's not high enough, right? He said it wasn't. He said that it's not high enough to see curve up there.
Well, of course it is. The International Space Station is more than high enough to see curve.
Yeah.
Where did he get that information from? Did he just say it with no maths or anything?
I don't know. I've never heard anybody say that before.
Yeah, of course you can see the curve of the Earth from the International Space Station. It's in space.
Okay, so that's 200 miles?
Yeah, so about 230 odd miles, and yeah, that's more than high enough to see the curve of the horizon. Now, obviously, you're not going to be able to see the entire Earth. You're still pretty damn close to it, right? But it's more than high enough to see the fact that the horizon curves. Now,
so what's the level of curve that they can see from 200 miles?
I mean, I guess it depends on the field of view that they're looking out of. I don't know the exact figures, but it would depend on the field of view that they got out of their window.
Right.
But at 200 odd miles, you're going to get a definite curve to the horizon. Now, you're not going to see you're not going to be able to see like this, like a ball. You're still going to be, upright really close, and just seeing probably
that's
less
pretty
than
noticeable.
That,
Like if somebody showed me like a real photo of that, but again, a lot of the photos that we get back from NASA are composite images, right?
Yeah, but all photos nowadays are composites. Unless you're taking
like digital photos.
Yeah, every digital photo is a composite. Unless you're taking up a physical camera and taking a photo like that, one that uses film, then you're not going to get that. And they did that, obviously, in 1972 when the Apollo went to the moon and they took the famous blue marble. That was with a Hasselblad, a physical camera that was developed on a film in a dark studio back on Earth. Yeah.
Why do you think we haven't gone back to the moon in so long? Like, for real, like
money.
Just money?
Yeah. So after the Apollo program finished, NASA's budget was slashed by like 60%. Right, going to the moon was fucking expensive. Once they've done it a bunch of times, they slashed NASA's budget. It's simple as that.
You have to think about like from like a military perspective, or
NASA aren't military though.
I know, but you would think the U.S. government, right? If they had the opportunity to like have an installation up there, where I feel like they would have spent the money for that.
But they didn't have the technology to make use of anything like that. I mean, they went to the moon for one simple reason. Russia were kicking their ass in the space race. Russia did everything first. Russia put the first satellite up. Russia put the first dog in orbit. Russia put the first people in space. Russia did everything before America. The only thing that was left to beat Russia was to go to the moon. And
did they ever go? Did they ever claim? Did they ever claim to go to the moon? Have they ever done it?
Russia?
Yeah.
No, they've never said they went to the moon. No.
No.
They've got orbiters up there and confirmed that the USA went to the moon. Right now, if the USA didn't go to the moon, especially during the Cold War, Russia would have been the first ones to call out the phony, the fake, and the fraud. But Russia were, in fact, some of the first people to congratulate the United States for getting to the moon. And during the tensions of the Cold War, that's batshit crazy.
What if Russia was lying, right? And then to go along with, then the U.S. figured out they were lying, And the US was like, you know what, we're gonna fucking lie too. And then it was just too convoluted, like nobody could admit fault because they already lied too much to their people. So
Now,
maybe it's
see,
just one big fucking money
Russia with
laundering thing.
Russia had such a large propaganda program against the United States. Any chance at all to call out the United States, they would have done it. And even if Russia were lying about all the things they said, if they knew America were lying, they would have pushed that so hard. They would. The Cold War wasn't just like an arms race and stuff. It was an information war. It was a propaganda war, right?
Right.
Any tool available to Russia to try and minimalize America in any way, they would have taken it. All Russia did at that point in time was push out anti-America propaganda. Yet for some reason, they said, congratulations for going to the moon. It was like the complete opposite of what everyone would expect. And the only way that could be the case is if Russia had zero evidence that it was fake. And the thing is, they tracked it with their own equipment, their own radio signals, their own telescopes. They tracked everything that America did. And they scrutinized everything that America did. And they couldn't find anything false about it. The slightest little inconsistency, they would have been shouting it to the rooftops, and they didn't.
Well, conspiracy theorists would just say that, it's one big club, right? Like,
Well, yeah, but most conspiracy theorists spent their time at school eating glue. So,
yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, the world governments were okay with doing that. The Antarctic Treaty, they worked together for that. They all signed off on that, even though we were enemies. And
I just got told off on TikTok because you smoked weed on stream. I forgot that TikTok doesn't like that.
oh,
Yeah.
sorry, China.
That's all right. Let me know if you're going to do it, and I'll just hide you off camera, okay?
Okay.
A couple of super chats to get through. We got the dumbass Flerf exposing Mars tricks, otherwise known as Ryan, says you didn't say my name. Your name's Dipshit. Thanks for the money, Dipshit. Alison Aviation for $5 says, Stoops, why do you think there's no functional flat Earth based map? And why any and all international
You guys
navigation
love bringing up the
uses
map
globe?
thing. I don't think the map is the. Huh?
It's an important thing. If the Earth was flat, then there would be a flat map that showed the countries correctly. But there's one thing. There's one thing that shows the countries correctly. The globe.
But that's not true. It doesn't display them correctly.
It does. This is a to scale model, right? This is a 1 to 150 million scale globe.
But as you go north, stuff starts to get stretched out, right?
No.
Like
That's exactly as it is. These are the correct sizes.
Oh, okay.
On a globe, they're not stretched out. That's only on flat maps. Because to put something that is 3D onto 2D, you have to distort it. Now, when you look at this, if I get Greenland up on here, which is... Okay, so that's Greenland there, that white bit, which is always weird. How that's right. But on most maps, Greenland looks fucking humongous, right?
Right.
But that's the size of Greenland. Let's get Russia. That's what Russia looks like, whereas on most flat maps, it's way bigger than that.
Now, do you think that's like spot on?
Yeah, this is a to-scale globe. This isn't just a little toy. Well, it is a toy technically.
What about the one behind you? What about that
scale.
globe? What about the globe behind you?
That is, again, an educational one with things exactly to scale as they should be. That's even got things that talk and stuff to you. That is, again, a to-scale globe. All the things on that are exactly the right size. And globes are the only things that have the exact things. That's why modern navigators, planes, right, they use a software called ForeFlight. And if you can actually go onto the ForeFlight website and look at it yourself, and it's literally a globe. That is what pilots use to navigate. Pilots nowadays, they don't use a flat map. They use a literal globe in computer software with great circle routes and the Haversine formula built into it. So why would they do that? Why would they literally use a globe to navigate if the Earth was flat? If the Earth was flat, then you wouldn't need projections. If the Earth was flat, then there wouldn't be so many different versions of a flat map, right? There would be one.
You've seen the picture that flat earthers use, right? The circle, and it's got all the land masses around the center.
The azimuthal equidistant projection, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that was debunked by going to Antarctica.
Well, I mean, who went there?
My friends Will Duffy,
Will
MC2,
Duffy,
Jaren Campanella, the asshole liar, woman abuser, Austin Whitsitt, my friend Critical
Austin.
Think. You know Austin Whitsitt literally abused his wife, right? And got arrested for it.
Yeah, I think you told me that last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then ran away from me at a conference that we were at together, whilst claiming that I don't get invited to the conferences that I was at, saying I never get
So
invited
that-
back, and I was invited back to the next one, and he was banned from it, which is always funny.
So that map that Will Duffy's trip proved that map that flat earthers show, the picture anyway that they show,
Yeah.
that disproved that.
Yeah,
Duffy
100%,
disproved
because it showed that it's a continent that you fly to and not a humongous ice wall. And the way they proved that was by live streaming the 24-hour sun and raw recording the 24-hour sun. If the Earth was flat and Antarctica was a ring around the outside, there's no way that Antarctica could have 24-hour sun all of the time. Because that would mean that everywhere in the world would also, well, sorry, just in the summer in Antarctica, that would mean that everywhere in the world during the summer would also be 24-hour sun. But we know that's not right. It's only extreme south during the summer or extreme north during the winter that you get the 24-hour sun.
So I don't know anybody who, after Duffy did that, I don't know anybody who left Flat Earth outside
Jaren
of
Campanella,
outside of the group that went. The people in the
Lisbeth,
community.
Dirk Cuz, Melodrome.
I don't know who.
I've got a humongous list. The list currently is that I know of is about 65 individual people. I've got a lot of people that I talk to regularly that don't want their names released, that were flat earthers until the final experiment, and they feel embarrassed about the whole thing. So yeah, the final experiment put a hatchet through flat earth pretty hard.
I don't think it did. And you want to know why I don't think it did? Because some stupid motherfucker just went on Joe Rogan and brought it up.
Well,
And
there's still
started
stupid
making
people in the
points.
world. That's that Yeah, but
Well,
Joe
I'm just
Rogan,
saying, I don't
even
think
though
it
Joe
stopped
Rogan's a
shit.
conspiracy theorist himself, he still debunked a lot of the points that manslaughtering DUI asshole brought up, right?
He recited the explanation that a lot of people do, but
Which
I don't think
debunks it, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
of course it
either
debunks it.
way, I don't think Will Duffy's trip. I personally think he was lying. I don't think that whole scenario was
Wait.
entirely legit.
How was he lying? What was he lying about?
I don't think the trip went as they portrayed it as.
In what
I don't
way?
know exactly what happened.
But they
Only-
live streamed everything. The flight that took them there was the most
Yeah,
tracked
I just-
flight in the world. They
I
have
remember I
raw
watched
footage
live
that's
stream.
available to everyone. They had GPS trackers
Why
on them
did-
for the whole time.
Did they
You know?
live stream? They didn't live stream. They
They did
recorded it.
7 separate live streams while they were there.
Well, I did watch. I mean, I did watch it, but I don't think I caught it live. I caught.
Yeah, there was 7 separate live streams. 7. Wait, hold on. Yeah,
There were
7
at
that I
least
know of.
3 or 4 cameras in the
Oh, there was
site
way
of the
more
one
than
I
3 or
watched.
4 cameras. There was maybe
Okay.
20, 30 different cameras that were recording stuff. Certain cameras that were 3D, capturing the entire the entire thing the whole time. They tried to live stream for 24 hours, but
Right.
they were using a Starlink, and as I can attest, Starlink does updates nearly daily. Especially
Right.
2, 3, 4 in the morning.
See, I
And
think that's
it
where they
turns
lost
off,
a lot of
right?
people. I think they lost a
Then
lot of people.
They tried to use a mobile phone to live stream, and the mobile phone didn't update. And then after 3 or 4 times of it crashing, Candace Owens, producer, decided to just stop trying to do the live stream. But the
I
fact
remember
is, they didn't
that.
need the live stream because they have raw footage. Not just footage that was uploaded to YouTube. Dave McKeegan and MC Toon will happily give you to
Is
look
Dave
at yourself.
McKeegan okay?
He's fucking healthy.
Oh, okay. He
Dude-
always looks
dude-
super bummed out anytime. I don't know.
No, he's always looks happy and he's healthy.
Okay.
He goes to the gym
Okay.
almost
Yeah.
as much as I do, to be honest.
I guess
The
I
dude's-
haven't watched
the
him
dude
a lot.
jacked.
I guess I haven't. He's jacked.
Yeah, like he's got biceps that are almost as impressive as mine.
you're attracted to Dave McKeegan?
I can appreciate how good a man looks without being attracted to them. As someone that
That's
goes
fair.
to the gym,
Good for
I'll
you.
tell you this:
It's
you spend more
2020.
time looking at the men in the gym than you do anything else because you're like, I want my muscles to be like that. And that's
I
not
mean,
because
I
you're
don't do
attracted
that,
to them.
but I
That's
can-
because you're impressed that they've put in the work to look that fucking good.
I don't really look at anybody when I'm at the gym for the most part.
How often do you go to the gym?
I guess I got a lot of stuff at my house now, so I haven't been to an actual gym in a while, but
Come
I
on,
used to go a lot.
give us a gun show.
No,
Come on,
no,
I'll do it.
I can't. I already got in trouble once for smoking a bong. I can't be busting
Oh, no.
these motherfuckers
No,
out.
you can get your guns out.
Yeah,
It's fine.
no, save
Uh,
that. Save that for later.
Okay, so,
Let me be right back.
Yeah, go on. I'll read some super chats so you go
Okay.
do what you need to do. The ignorance is strong, but we can maybe save this one. Just quickly, thank you for everyone that's here watching. I do appreciate it, especially you guys on YouTube and TikTok. It means the world. If you do me a favor, smash the like button if you haven't already. We've got 11,000 likes over on TikTok, so that's awesome. If you're not subscribed or if you're not following on TikTok, please make sure you do that. But most importantly, do me a favor and share the stream. Copy the URL and send it out to the world, right? That is extremely important. Now, what you can do is break into someone's house, right? And change their home screen to just the URL of my channel. In fact, you know what? Your neighbors have probably got a PC and they're probably not in right now. So if you just quickly nip next door, you could just bash in the door, it'll be fine. Find their PC and alter their home screen so it just shows the URL of my channel. I mean, I'm sure that's going to help in some way, right? Rosie Gold for $5 says, I don't care about Flerfs enough to try and teach them anything. Wait, it skipped. Where'd it go? I don't care enough about Flerfs to try and teach them anything. I prefer to watch them for amusement. The same way I watch penguins at the zoo. I fucking love penguins. The Turtle Moose for £2 says, Stoops, Dumbbay is God. Everyone else is a liar. Alison Aviation for $2 says, NASA has all their photos available in RAW format. Yep, you can literally just go to NASA archives. Any claims of NASA... Flat Earthers always say, well, why do NASA fake their stuff? They don't. NASA have never faked anything. Ever. I'm yet to be shown proof that NASA have
Come on,
faked
man.
something.
You don't think they've ever faked anything ever?
No. There would be evidence
Okay.
that they have faked something if they have faked something.
Okay, Craig, let me ask you this. Do you think the government lies to people?
Well, Trump's in charge of the government at the moment in America, so probably quite a lot, yeah. But NASA haven't because NASA are able to be scrutinized. All of their
Okay.
stuff is available to look at. Every single thing that NASA do is part of their charter. It's available to the public. It's not secret. You can go and look at the raw footage, the raw photos, and there's never, and I can't stress this enough, there has
Raw
never
footage
been
of what?
anything.
What are they trying to show? What are they saying they have pictures of? Curve or something?
Space, curve, the moon.
Space?
Yeah. Like, and I can't
Like
stress this enough.
Hubble and shit?
It's very, very important that I stress this. NASA have never, ever, ever been shown that they faked something, right? If NASA have faked something, there would be evidence that they have faked something. But nothing that the people say, oh, this is fake, actually holds up to scrutiny when you know what is going on.
So one of the main things flat earthers usually quote when they say NASA fake stuff is the tech guy that worked at NASA, and they show his quote that says, "Well, it's faked. It is CGI.
It's
but
Photoshop because it had to be."
Right.
Yeah, that's talking about one particular image. The 2002.
So they did. So
Well,
they
it's
did
not-
lie at least.
No, they didn't lie because they never
What?
said that that was anything other than a photoshopped image, right? And
Oh, they just told us it was fake.
no, they didn't say it was
Right.
fake. They said it was photoshopped because it had to be. Because
Right, that means it's not-
instead of it being a
That
satellite
means
out
it's not
here,
an
right? Let me
original
explain.
image, though.
No, it is right. Instead of it being a satellite out here, right? It was a satellite that was right close, orbiting
Okay.
around, taking strips of
All right.
data, right? Then they had to take those strips because it couldn't image the whole globe. They wanted high resolution images. They took those strips and then put them together in a computer program to make that 2002 blue marble that was on the iPhones, right? But they never said it was anything other than that. Right?
Have you
They
seen
said-
the examples?
they
The
said that it
examples of
was
where
that.
people show the I can't remember the exact term for it, but they'll have like a certain cloud formation, and then they'll like copy that cloud formation and
Yeah, again,
repeat
that's
it.
in that same image, and
Oh, okay.
the guy that said that it was artistic license. It was to be made pretty.
But why the
and
fuck
so
did he need
just
to
kind
do
of
that?
did that
If they could just take a real picture of it, why did they need to do that?
because they wanted to make it look pretty, and there were certain areas that didn't have clouds and stuff that would look better with clouds. But again, they
But was
never
that
said
worth it?
they
Was
never
that
said.
worth?
Yeah, they never
That's
said
a
it was
stupid
anything.
decision if you
no,
think
no, no.
about it,
Again,
because-
it was done that way on purpose. They never said it was
Oh.
anything other than that. They have never claimed that is a one image of Earth that is unedited. They outright said
So
this
you're
is
saying
an
they have
edited,
more-
This is an edited image of Earth that was made to look pretty. It was Photoshop because it had to be,
Okay.
because it wasn't a camera really far away. It was a camera up close that could only see strips of the land at a time.
Got it. So, but is the person in the chat saying that NASA has other photos of Earth that aren't photoshopped?
Yeah, like for instance,
whole
the
Earth?
19
The entire Earth?
1972
Okay.
blue marble that was taken with a Hasselblad camera on the way to the moon. That wasn't Photoshop because, well, mainly Photoshop didn't exist until 1990.
Oh, I know what you're talking
believe.
about. I know which one you're talking about. Okay.
Not in that, but 1942.
You know what they say about
right?
that one, right?
Hold on, right? So 1942, the Germans sent up a V2 rocket and took the first image of the curve of the Earth. There was not
Okay.
even really computers then. Computers back then meant a woman that did calculations on a typewriter. The term computer didn't mean the things that it means now. There was no CGI. There was no Photoshop. It was just a photo on a camera stuck to a fucking rocket. And it showed the curve of the Earth. There is millions of photos of the entire Earth. The Himawari satellite that takes images of... Where is it? So this part of the Earth is imaged like every 10 minutes by the Himawari satellite. Which
Himawari?
is it's a Japanese satellite that images
Oh.
that entire side of the Earth every 10 minutes. I think it's even less now, maybe even 5 minutes, so they can look at weather, right? And here's a nice fact about it. There was a
Okay.
point where, if I show you the whole thing, where's Mongolia?
How high is it?
I think it's a Lagrange point. I don't know the exact details of where it is. You could just look it up. But so this is Mongolia right around here, okay? And there was
Damn Mongolians.
a forest fire in Mongolia that no one really
All
knew
right.
about, that was heading
That
towards a
sucks.
bunch of villages, right? Himawari saw that fire, and the people that were looking at Himawari were able to let people know there's massive fire coming towards you. You need to move. So they saved
Himawari-
people's lives by using
Himawari's a
satellite in
hero.
space. Yeah, basically. And that's
Okay.
great evidence that it's
I'm
a
not
real
saying
thing.
like I'm not saying that satellites can't do images of the Earth. I
Well,
was
so
just
you agree
asking
they're
if-
satellites then?
Flat Earthers believe there are satellites.
No, they say there's balloons.
Yeah, what's wrong with? I mean, they do launch some satellites on balloons for sure. They've
Those
shown
are called
us.
they're not called satellites. They're called weather balloons.
Sataloons.
Sataloons
Yeah.
is an unofficial term for them. But that's another thing
It's a
flat earthers
fun
lie
term.
about. Like, have you seen the image of looks like a whole bunch of balloons being released from a station in Antarctica?
Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, so that's flat earthers lying. That's one balloon on a time lapse. Yet flat earthers
Yeah.
go, well, there's Starlink, because they have to lie.
Do they say it's? Do they? Oh, they say it's Starlink. On
Yeah,
the
they say,
meme?
oh, that's what Starlink is, because look at all those balloons being released at the same time. When it's
I mean,
one
that's
balloon
the- I
being
mean,
taken
the-
in a time lapse photo.
But I think theoretically that probably could be done, don't you think?
Right, so yeah, they just reminded me in the chat that Himawari is in geostationary orbit above Japan, which means that its orbital period, so Japan's there, so it's orbiting the same speed that the Earth rotates. But it's far
Oh,
enough
okay.
out that its orbital speed then matches the Earth's rotation.
How far out do you have to go to be able to do that?
Hey Google, what's the altitude of geostationary orbit?
35 5,786 kilometers, 22,236 miles above Earth's equator.
Damn.
So
It's all the way up there?
Yeah.
That's pretty high, Craig.
Hold on. TikTok's saying that there's inactivity and making me do a puzzle. Hold on. TikTok's fucking weird. There we go. The Mojek for $4.99 says ISS radio footprint is about 10 minutes travel time for them. A few thousand miles in view at once. ISS radio footprint is about 10 minutes travel time with them. I don't really know what you mean by that. ISS's radio footprint is about 10 minutes travel time of them. A few thousand. Oh, right, yeah. So they're not high enough, basically, to see the entire Earth, is what they're saying.
Oh.
Thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the gifts on TikTok. I really appreciate that as well. Rubiks, who is trapped in my basement, but they don't know, so don't tell them, for $2 says, I'm FTFE, and I don't have a NASA shill held captive here. Hold on. You know you're fucking captive in my basement. What are you talking about? Yeah, it's pretty cold today. It's been raining a lot. No, I never said I was going to fix the leak. Well, you're always complaining you don't get enough water, and now you've got plenty. Well, I know it's cold and full of lead, but that's not really... If you're going to cry, I'm just shutting the door again. Bye. What do you do with your captives in your basement?
I don't know. I like you do little bits. That's funny. I forgot you did that stuff.
The Mojek for $1.99 says, Greenland is ice, and Iceland is green. Yeah, that's always confusing.
Ooh.
Except, you know, if you're Trump, you just get them confused anyway, of course. Yes, I'm going to slag off Trump. The guy's a fucking idiot. Alison Aviation for $5 says, azimuthal equidistant projection distorts Australia to more than 2 times its real size. We didn't need the final experiment to debunk it. We navigate based on the globe. Flat Earth has nothing.
I thought the azimuthal one, I thought that made Australia look kind of thin.
Yeah, it does. It distorts. It keeps the north to south the right size, because on the AE map, the north to south distances are correct. But they have to distort east to west the further south you go. So because Australia is obviously, you know,
down there somewhere.
Down there, quite far south, right? As you go further south, it has to be stretched out more and more because that becomes the outer ring. So Australia, even though north to south and east to west is roughly the same size, on the flat Earth map, it's like double the size east to west, which makes no sense.
How close is Australia to Antarctica? It's probably pretty decent, right? Yeah, it's pretty close.
So, yeah, if you go from the most southern point of Australia, I'm pretty sure it's about 1,200 miles from the most southern point of south to Australia, to Antarctica. You know, you can literally get on a boat, Australia, head south, next thing's Antarctica.
But in South America, it's a lot closer, right?
Let's have
it's like a little point.
Yeah, so that's what it is in South America. It's really quite close, because then you've obviously got the peninsula off of Antarctica that goes even closer to it, which McMurdo Station is around here, where I've been.
Now, is that where Duffy went?
No, he went to more west than that, I think. I can't remember the exact point on there, but it was... it's closer to... Well, they travelled from... Wait, no. No, I think it was actually about around there, maybe, that Duffy went to, because they travelled from South America. Yeah, they travelled from South America.
Now, here's what I feel like the flat Earth argument is going to be, is that they went to one part of Antarctica, and, you know, that doesn't necessarily prove that it's its own continent or whatever. Or, you know what I'm saying.
I mean, they flew over it to get there, but other people have literally traversed the entire thing. Last year, a 22-year-old girl traversed the entire thing.
I'm not going to lie to you, Craig. I don't buy that
I mean, again, she was GPS tracked the entire time.
It sounds like some propaganda shit to keep people from actually trying to... What was her name?
I can't remember her name, but anyone can try it. That's the thing. If you want to go to Antarctica...
did you just see recently that guy that went there and he got stopped and all that shit?
Okay, do you know what that actually was?
That looked fake too, didn't it? That looked fake too.
Do you know what that actually was? That wasn't anything about being in Antarctica. Number one, he didn't even actually get to Antarctica. He was kind of somewhere else. But it was nothing to do with Antarctica that he lost his access. It was because he took Starlink onto a cruise ship. And on a cruise ship, you aren't allowed your own equipment. You have to pay the cruise ship for their internet. So because he was live streaming from the cruise ship using his own Starlink, which number one could interfere with the radio operations of the ship, which could be dangerous.
But it was a
and
cruise ship by Antarctica or something, right? It must have been, right?
Not necessarily, no. But
No?
more importantly, right, a captain, by maritime law, is legally responsible for any broadcast coming from their ship. So they had no idea what the guy was going to broadcast. So they couldn't let him be broadcasting Starlink from his ship or on expeditions from his ship, because if something illegal happened, the captain of that ship would be held liable. So the rules of the pretty much any ship, any cruise are, no, you don't get to bring your own broadcast equipment. You have to buy our own internet. So that's why it was taken away from him. Nothing to do with the fact he was streaming Antarctica, because people stream from Antarctica all the fucking time.
But I mean, that video was getting sold. Like, people were pushing it as this guy's getting kicked out of Antarctica, right?
Yeah, and there's a very good reason for that, because flat earthers lie.
So it was fake. Okay.
Well, flat earthers, it wasn't fake, it was a real video, but flat earthers lied about what it was.
About what it was, yeah.
Cheerio, who's been a member for 5 months, says, 1 more month and I'm half a rotation done. Nice. Keep going, mate, and you'll be halfway around the sun. And then for another 6 months, all the way around. I do appreciate it. And then for £5, they say, hi, my name is Craig, and I'm a huge fan of James Cunt's moderation. Jokes aside, fuck that guy. Yeah, I am boycotting Modern Day Debate. I will be releasing all of the debates I've done on Modern Day Debates on my channel, but that's just because I want them on my channel rather than Modern Day Debates. Don't take that as any endorsement of Modern Day Debates, because that place is just at the moment a house of Nazis and pedophiles. So, you know.
I did kind of want to ask you about that Andrew guy.
Oh, the guy that can't open a pickle jar. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
We're all Goga Frinchin's been a member for 18 months, 1.5 times around the sun, says flat earthers don't gym. They think they have flat stomachs. The Mojek for 199 says, how do satellites work on a flat earth?
Balloons.
Yeah, except they're too high for balloons to work. And a geostationary satellite that is, you know, staying in the same place constantly would not be possible on a balloon.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that one before. So I'll have to look into that one.
The Turtle Moose for £5 says the first electronic computer was built in 1943 to break the Lorenz codes. Yeah, I think that was before it was analog, and it was way before, way after. Sorry, it was after the first V2 rocket launches that took a photo of the Earth. So thank you for that. Allison Aviation for $5 says, Stoops, why do you think anyone whose profession involves Earth shape is immune to the flat Earth cult? Why don't intelligent people, like pilots, boat captains, etc., think the Earth is flat?
Well, I have seen, and I mean, you're probably going to argue that they were fake, or they were, I guess, joking, people interviewing pilots, and they do say that it's always looked like a flat horizon to them.
So I traveled quite a lot last year. And I'm disabled, so I get assistance on and off the plane and stuff, which usually means I'm last on the plane, first on, last off, right? So I'm usually left on the plane with just the flight staff and the pilots. And I asked them about this, and they're like, we love it when flat earthers come up to us and ask if the Earth is flat, because we just want to screw with them. And then he started showing me all the instruments on the plane that prove that the Earth cannot be flat, otherwise these things wouldn't work.
Wait, wouldn't someone like you think that's detrimental to, like...
I did explain that flat earthers use those things as evidence the Earth is flat. And they were like, yeah, we get that, but also, you know, we get a lot of downtime. We want to fuck with them.
Yeah, but you hate... Okay. All right. Do you hate pilots?
No, I think pilots do a great job. I do wish they wouldn't do that, because, you know, flat earthers don't understand sarcasm and jokes. But, you know, at the same time, I can't deny them their fun, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Skeptic for $5 says, ask Stupid the cat, why do we not see satellites constantly falling from the sky? Balloons pop at high altitude.
That's true. Balloons do pop. The one that usually gets cited is the Google-loon, right? Google-loon?
Yeah, the one that was doing...
It stayed up there for...
it was up for quite a while, but it wasn't anywhere high enough to be like a high altitude balloon that was popping or anything. And I think that was an attempt to give internet to places that couldn't get it via balloon, right?
But I mean, but balloons can stay up there for a extended period of time.
Yeah, but certainly not geostationary, stay in the same position or go as high as most satellites
Right.
are. You
I
know,
don't see how I can't figure out how they would do a stationary balloon
they couldn't
unless
because the Earth's not
unless it was
flat.
tethered somehow.
Nietzsche for £2 says this guy is as smart as a box of frogs. I mean, that's your opinion, and I appreciate everyone's opinion. Just in Dark Cloud for 279 Canadian says hashtag lock up Rubiks. I already have. They're in my basement. Don't tell anyone, I might get in trouble. The Mojek for £4.99 says to use my amateur radio on a ferry to France, I needed permission from the captain first. That's just the way it is on ships. Yeah. Like I said, maritime law says that any broadcast coming from any vessel is the sole responsibility of the captain of that vessel. So if something illegal happens via broadcast, the captain is the one that gets in trouble.
Got it.
F Grudge for €5 says just because you have video of Stoops the cat doesn't mean he's real. Can you prove you're real?
Only through this video, so I don't think that's gonna be enough for him.
Nivox Spilkerman for £2 says, hey Noodles, show us your guns. They want to see a gun show. Come on.
Not gonna happen.
Don't know why. If you had guns, you'd be happy to show them, I guess.
Yeah. I'm a humble guy.
Henrobi for €5 says the Italian regime is limiting internet access for the population, but Starlink works. Don't you think the Iranians would have shot the balloons down? I said Italian, I meant Iranian. Fuck's sake. The Iranian regime is limiting internet access for the population, but Starlink works. Don't you think Iranians would have shot the balloons down? Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Obviously, in Iran at the moment, they're trying to stop footage of the protests and stuff getting out. So they've kind of locked down internet access to the country. Except, of course, Starlink terminals have been smuggled in, and Elon is allowing Starlink signals from Iran to be used. So if it was all balloons, the satellites were just balloons, why have the Iranians not shot down those balloons?
How high are the balloons? I don't know. I don't know how high they can
so
shoot.
they'd be easy enough to shoot down. A balloon couldn't go any higher than a jet could fly, and Iran have got jets,
Yeah.
So Iran are desperately trying to
think
stop any footage of the protests getting out. So they could, if it was just all balloons, they would just send up a jet and shoot down all the balloons, right?
I mean, the high altitude balloons I see are like 100,000 feet, like before they pop. So I don't know. If jets can go that high, then yeah, I guess they could.
I mean, they could certainly get high enough to target them and then let their weapons loose,
Oh, yeah.
Deplorable Ilk for £2 says hashtag Team Ledwell. Roger for top left. Who's your vote for top left this year?
Top what?
The top left awards.
I don't know.
You know the Dunning-Kruger effect, right? Where if you think you're smart but you're really not, you're on the peak of Mount Stupid on the top left, and then the more you learn about a subject, the stupider you realize you are in relation to that subject until you get to the slope of enlightenment where you actually start to become proficient in something. Flat earthers never leave the top left. They always stay at the point where they think they know everything but actually know nothing. So each year, MC Toon and I hold the top left awards. And there's some good people this year. Who would you nominate for top left?
For flat earthers?
Yeah, or anyone.
Or anyone?
Who thinks they knows about stuff but doesn't?
Joe Rogan?
Not gonna lie. Although, even though he's not exactly intelligent, he can still debunk flat earth pretty well.
I don't know. There were a lot of people talking about it afterwards.
Yeah, flat earthers. Yeah. Which was a lot less than they used to be. JSS Tiger for £5 says, my name is Craig McNeil, and I acknowledge I lost this debate to Stoops. I'm now a flat earther. Please clip this, Rubiks. Thanks. You're a cunt. My fingers were crossed the whole time. I promise. Right, so give us your biggest thing that is your problem, biggest problem with the globe. Let's knock the stupid out of you, Stoops, because you don't need to be a flat earther, dude.
I mean, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, but you'd be doing even better if you weren't part of the cult of stupid.
I don't think it's a cult.
Oh, it's definitely a cult. And let's look at what it does. It forces you to only listen to their information and kind of forbids you to listen to other information, mocks you and harasses you and doxes you and attacks you if you attempt to leave, tells you that everybody else is indoctrinating you. If you look at all the things that a cult does, Flat Earth does all those things. Flat Earth is 100% a cult.
Don't most cults like make you give up all your possessions and shit like that?
I know many flat earthers who have given up all their possessions and all their family and their life because of flat earth.
Who?
Ryan Casey, who's in the chat right now.
Ryan Kate. Okay. I don't know who that is. I'm
flat earther, one of the first flat earthers I debated on Non Sequitur show. Literally was debating from the storage unit that he had to live in because his family and stuff left him because of it.
Maybe Austin Whitsitt.
Austin Whitsitt's not allowed on the internet anymore. His mummy's banned him from it.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Well, I'm not on Twitter anymore, so I don't know. But
neither is Austin because he's not allowed to post on the internet anymore. So Austin, his wife left him, took the kids. And he couldn't afford to live in the house he was living in anymore because the rent was too high and he was making no money. So he had to move back in with his mummy. And basically his mum's like, well, you're not doing this fucking flat earth shit from my house.
Got it. What happened to Jaren?
Jaren, I talk to nearly every day, is doing pretty well. His main thing right now is repairing and selling pinball tables.
Okay. But he's not doing any sort of
he's just kind of stepped away.
Work.
No, he's dropped most conspiracies. He thinks the moon landing happened, thinks chemtrails are stupid. He obviously left flat earth. He's one of the most honest people that I've met now and is so upset and angry at himself for pushing the stupid conspiracies that he did for 10 years. Which is brilliant.
10 years?
Yeah. Meg VTO8 for £5 says, as an Iranian, I can confirm without Starlink, internet would be 100% down. But guess what? Since satellites are real, people can still connect. Yeah. If the Earth was flat, there would be no Starlink. And not that I think Starlink is any decent internet. I fucking really struggled to stream on Starlink. It was sucked. But it's a real thing that gives internet. So it couldn't happen if the Earth was flat.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that the Starlink satellites would work with the balloon thing, right?
No, they're way too high. You can track the position of them and the height of them, and it's way too high for there to be balloons because they would pop.
I see. You know what? I do see a lot more stuff moving around up there than I used to when I was a kid, anyway.
Well, yeah, because there's a lot more satellites now. TSDO Choliday 8965 in the chat says, did Craig say he's boycotting modern day debates? Is there a reason for that? Yes, there is. I can't bother to go into it. Everyone in the chat, just please let them know why I'm boycotting modern day debates. Even though they were kind enough to pay for me to go to America twice and do a bunch of debates, once with Andrew Wilson. West Side Girl Reacts, who forced me to drink Malort and I will hate them forever for it, says, why do Kestrel shooting computers have Coriolis calculations built in? Happy National Malort Day.
Ugh.
Yeah, Malort is evil.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the video of me doing a shot of Malort?
No.
Just Google FTFE Malort. It's exactly what you think it would be. Donald Trump's Bone Spheres, who's been a member for 65 months, dude, thank you, says modern day debate sucks. It used to be good, but is now a wretched hive of scum and villainy. Yes.
I think all debate platforms are getting kind of played out. Everybody tried to do it. Was kind of like the podcast thing. Everybody tried to do it at once. I think people
if you want to go to see a good podcast, guys, I would highly advise the Auxiliary Unplugged podcast, which is a podcast done by a member of my crew on the USS Kongzi. Every Friday I play a Star Trek D&D game, if you didn't know. You see my tattoo?
Oh, I remember that. Hey, what the fuck, man? You still got your leg.
Yeah, because NHS are cunts, basically, and it's a fight. An elective surgery with the NHS is something that is not an easy thing to do. And there's certain surgeons that don't want to do it, so I'm currently looking at going to a medical board to get it done. If not, I'm just going to have to go private. So,
What's NHS, like Medicaid?
the National Health Service.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of like Medicaid.
The Mojek 199 says Starlink is traveling too fast to be a balloon, and PhD Tony backs it up by saying low Earth orbit satellites move at 7 kilometers per second. You realize a balloon couldn't move at 7 kilometers a second, right?
Show me a picture of a satellite moving 7 kilometers a second.
Every picture of a satellite is moving 7 kilometers a second.
No, that's the picture that the satellite's taking. I want to see a video of the satellite moving.
Okay, just
Itself.
look at, you've seen videos of Starlink, right? The trails of satellites going across the sky.
Like
Yeah,
the launch?
they're moving at, yeah, the ones, you can just literally go on YouTube and look at Starlink satellite trail or Starlink satellite train, and it shows you
I've seen the
satellites
launch
moving
thing
across the
with-
sky. Not the launch, the ones that are already in the sky, and you can see them moving across the sky. Any satellite that you can see from Earth in the sky that's low Earth orbit is moving at 7 kilometers per second.
How high are they?
Like 250 miles to 400 miles.
How big are they?
The Starlink satellites are like the size of a small car. Probably even smaller than that.
How would you be able to see something the size of a small car that
You see the
far
light
away?
reflecting off of them.
But it's nighttime.
Well, yeah, but
When I've seen them before. I've seen the trail.
you don't see them in the middle of night. You see them close to sunrise or sunset, right? When they're still high enough that the sun is still able to hit them, and then the light reflects to us.
I've seen them pretty. I feel like, I guess I don't have any way to prove this, that I've seen them
No.
a decent amount of time after the sun went
No,
down.
it would be within an hour or so of sunset or sunrise. Jim Daniels for $10 says, downside to being a flat earther: anxiety, mental suffering, humiliation, depression, apprehension, loss of companionship, damage of reputation, and
First of
emotional
all, I know
distress.
plenty of
Mikey
non-flat
Smith versus
earthers that
CSA.
have all of those problems.
Yeah, but more flat earthers have them than not.
I think
is the thing.
this is a bigger societal problem, that list right
Yeah,
there.
depression is a crippling thing that I have suffered with a lot in my life because I'm in chronic pain and have lost members of my family recently, and I've suffered with depression. But flat earthers have these things anyway, without the kind of problems that cause them.
Do you think?
I mean,
maybe
Mikey
they had
Smith
them-
has a toe that is probably going to fall off at some point. I mean, maybe that's giving him issues. I don't know.
Maybe those people had those problems before they became flat earthers.
Maybe that's why they're flat earthers.
Maybe.
So, come on, next thing that Eric Dubé
Okay.
lied to you about, that's the problem.
You know what I do like about Eric Dubé? He responds in his comments. He's a pretty nice guy. Anytime I have questions or anything, like when he puts out videos, go ahead.
Well, ask him why he lies about so much stuff and why he refuses to actually debate
I'm not
anybody,
going to
because
ask him that.
You know that
I
he's
don't think
never
he's
debated
lying.
anybody, right?
Why would I ask him that? You ask him that.
I mean, I've proven to you that he's lied about things.
Why don't you just ask him?
Because he doesn't respond to me.
Well, you are kind of a jerk about it.
Well, I've tried to be nice to him.
honest.
Or ask him this question. Ask why he has never debated anybody.
Well, I would say that, I mean,
Because he's a coward and knows he would lose.
I would say that he probably has, right?
No, he hasn't. He's not debated anybody ever.
But he offered to debate Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, he offered to debate someone who has already said they've no interest in debating a flat earther. And that's why he said he'd debate Neil deGrasse Tyson, is because Neil deGrasse Tyson has already said he's not
Joe
going to do
Rogan had it on his set list. He had
No,
Eric Dubé versus Neil deGrasse Tyson.
no, he
set
didn't.
Up.
That's a lie that flat earthers have pushed out.
I mean, so the image that I saw of Rogan's list, which you can go to his website and look up his people.
Yeah, they never once said Neil deGrasse Tyson
That
versus
was
Eric
fake?
Dubé. That was a fake that flat earthers faked. In fact, it was
Okay.
actually Austin Whitsitt's crew that faked that.
Okay, I'll have to look. I'll have to because Eric in one of Dubay's videos, he cites that and uses it.
That's because
So
Eric Dubay's a liar and lies about things all of the time.
okay, that's the first I've ever heard that that's fake. You're the
Yeah.
first person to
There
say
was
that.
never any debate set up with Neil deGrasse Tyson versus anyone because Neil deGrasse Tyson has said that he has no interest in ever talking to a flat earther.
But there's a video of Joe Rogan saying that he's going to have Eric Dubay on. There is.
Maybe he said he was
I've
going to
seen
have
it.
Eric Dubay on, but do you know if that was real? Because there's deep fakes.
No, dude. No. It's one of Rogan's like older videos. Back when he
And
still had the
yeah, Eric
bricks.
Dubay's never been on.
I know he's never been on.
Funny.
I'm saying that
Does
Joe
that not
Rogan
need
was
credence to
gonna
the
do it.
idea that maybe that was a fake video?
Well, here that's the problem nowadays with AI. See, we're gonna run into this a lot. Anytime people start going back and forth at something, anybody can always say, "Well, that was fake. That was a deep fake, or that was AI." Like we're about to run into some trouble with that, dude.
Yeah, I agree. So Clive Wells in my chat, who's a PhD that teaches at university, says, "I don't think people should debate if they don't want to. Most scientists do not wish to debate these things." And he's an actual scientist, you know,
So why are you mad Eric Dubay won't debate people then?
because Eric Dubay talks about flat Earth and pushes flat Earth and challenges people to debate that he knows won't debate.
Well, I'm just
yet
saying with
ignores
that
the
guy's
people that
logic
will
that you
debate.
just quoted, with that
Yeah.
guy's logic
But
that you just quoted. I
yeah,
mean,
but here's the thing. Eric Dubay has said he will debate. He has said he will debate Neil deGrasse Tyson. He has said he will debate Bill Nye the Science Guy, right? So he said he will debate, but he won't debate anyone like me or MC Toon that is actually versed in debating the subject and are willing to do it. I'm not a PhD. I've just got 2 BScs, right? I'm not a scientist. I'm just an ex-engineer, right? I'm more than willing to debate any flat earther about this topic.
I think the issue is that probably I don't know what he thinks, but I would think the issue would be that there have been so many debates about it already, and it's always the same points that get brought up, right? So I think we need. So I'm not saying a debate with like a professional or somebody that the public respects or it considers esteemed or whatever, like Neil deGrasse Tyson or whoever, or you or whatever, to go on a show, and I think that would have value. It would help in some of the debate, but I think it would have to be platformed because I think just a lot of people have jumped on this train, and if you were to present evidence on a platform big enough, something like Rogan or something that a lot of people watch, it could help to end a thing. But I don't know, a debating on like a smaller platform, like what's the point? All the arguments have already been made.
Well, that's the thing. I am more than willing to go on Joe Rogan's podcast and debate with Eric Dubay. And you know what? I've debated people that have been on Joe Rogan's podcast. I've debated Andrew Wilson. So
I know.
I'm in that sphere, so people would know who I am. So there's no reason why, if Eric Dubay was on there, I wouldn't be able to come on as well and challenge him face to face. But Eric Dubay will not ever debate anybody. Eric Dubay will only ever challenge the people he knows will not debate.
No, I think if he got an invite to Rogan, he would have took it. I think he'd take it.
Yeah, he'd take an invite to Rogan, but he would not take an invite to Rogan if I was also there.
I think he would.
I guarantee he wouldn't.
And I think that's one of the things that need to happen because, I mean, that's why I don't want to debate you, right? Because because we always end up on the same points. Like you think fisheye lens, I think rectilinear lens, right? You think they're lying up there.
Except
don't
I can
think they're
prove
lying.
my points. That's the thing. I've got
Okay.
evidence.
Okay. That's fine. But I just obviously someone like me is not going to be able to turn anybody by even if you. Yeah.
All right. Let me
But
ask you this, right? Let me ask you this. So with the final experiment, Eric Dubay constantly pushes that there's no 24-hour sun in Antarctica. Eric Dubay was invited to go to Antarctica. Why did he turn it down?
I don't know that he was invited.
Yes, he was. I've seen the invite.
Okay.
Eric Dubay was. Dave Weiss was. Every
honestly,
single
I wouldn't
big
have
flat earther
gone.
in the world was.
Honestly, a lot of those people on that trip sucked. I don't blame him for not wanting to go. If he did get invited, I don't know that he did. I know you're saying he did.
He did. I can
but-
show you the emails.
Okay. I'm all for proof or whatever. I don't care if
Yeah.
you're wrong or whatever, but
It was in the same email that I got, inviting me.
and why didn't you go?
Because of my leg. I didn't want to be a burden to others.
It's cold, fuck it up.
Yeah, I even though I've been told that they would have looked after me and it wouldn't have been a burden, I did not want to go and be a problem. I did not want to go and other people have to look after me and help me get around and stuff, because I didn't want that to affect their ability to do what they were doing there. So
Don't you go to the gym and shit? Do you have that much trouble?
Yeah, but I don't
fucking-
lift. I don't lift weights with my legs.
Oh, okay.
Well, I do with
That
one
makes
leg, not the other one, obviously. You know, yeah, I go to the gym to get fit to make sure that when I have the operation, I'm gonna not die on
Well,
the
look,
table.
man, go tell Jamie to have you and invite Dubay on from fucking Rogan. You said you're in the circle.
His producer who I was DMing the other day, actually.
Yeah. Tell him to invite
Young
Dubay.
Jamie,
It would be
aka
one of
Fingers,
Rogan's
yeah.
biggest episodes. Well, at least in a long time. I don't know what his biggest episode was, but
Okay, well, I'll send him a follow-up DM, because I had him on DMs a couple of days ago, and I'll send him a follow-up DM saying, look, if you want to get Eric Dubay on, I'll come on as well. We have a debate there, you know?
yeah. And look, if you did that and you were able to prove that, and that you know that Eric Dubay got the invite, and then he still turns it down.
But there's my
Then that's
DMs
gonna
with
look-
Jamie, so just so you know I'm doing it.
So then, I mean, that would be something. You know, if Eric decided not, if he turned down one of the biggest platforms out there, I would say that would be probably a red flag. So, at least a point for your team.
Shush Don't Blow Up on TikTok says that surveyors measure angles off a flat plane. No, they don't do it off a flat plane. They use tangents. Surveyors can measure angles from the top of a fucking hill. They don't use a flat plane. They use a tangent. Just go to Jesse Kwasowski website on WordPress website, where he uses surveying methods to prove that there's a curve to water. So no, Shush Don't Blow Up. You're completely wrong.
What about...
Rosie says for $5, I'm a sailor, Craig, and I lost my leg climbing up the top sails. I lost my leg. Song by Drop. Oh, right. That's a drop kick. That one. I know. The Mojek 499 says, I have had a bad back for 30 years, chronic pain. I feel you, Craig. My pain, think worst toothache times 3 or more. Yeah. Chronic pain is soul fucking destroying. Absolutely.
I've got a lot in my neck, in my left side. I have a peripheral issue.
I'm sorry,
Sucks.
man. I am sorry if you're suffering with chronic. I would not wish chronic pain on anyone except maybe Austin Whitsett.
I think he's got it. I think he's probably got it at this point. It's probably self-inflicted.
Yeah,
but
he did say that going to Antarctica ruined his life, which I'm so happy about.
I bet it fucking did. I mean, he at least had a little bit of clout in the flat earth community, you know? So it might not have been much, but so that's why most of us just assumed like he must have got a payday or something to ruin his reputation like that.
Well, no, he
because
wasn't paid
nobody
to
took
go,
him back
but
in.
he had everything paid for him.
Oh, yeah.
He was
okay.
basically the most expensive luggage in the world ever. JSS Tiger makes a good point for $5. Eric Dubay blocks all Globers from his channel. That's why his channel is so peaceful and cozy for flat earthers. He does not engage with Globers. Why does he not want to actually discuss the flat earth with anyone? Why is he wanting an echo
Well, I'm
chamber?
sure that I'm sure that he would, and he's gone on a lot of podcasts and stuff and talked about it. So I don't think he minds discussing it, but going back and forth in the comments to try, you're not going
He's
to
never
convince somebody
discussed it with somebody
true.
that thinks the earth is a globe. He's only ever gone on podcasts of other flat earthers.
Or Not or people that were just into like conspiracy stuff, not
Yeah.
necessarily flat earthers, but
The Mojek199 says Witsit was a fucking chronic pain. And Chris Huckleberry just became a scrapper. Thank you. Welcome to the members. Guys, you can also gift memberships if you want other people to suffer constantly with Flat Earth content. If you hate somebody in the chat, just send the membership. Wait, that's not how that works. I just want to say thank you quickly to everybody that is watching. We have several hundred of you on YouTube. I think it's already peaked at 370 over there. We've got quite a few watching on TikTok, so I do appreciate it. If you are a flat earther and you would like to debate me on any flat earth subject or conspiracy nonsense, moon landing, chemtrails, please reach out to me at fighttheflatearth@gmail.com or my assistant who's trapped in my basement at itsarubiks@gmail.com. Wait, one sec. You still getting Gmail down there, yeah? Well, yeah, I know I give you internet access when you need it, but is your internet working? Right, good. Just checking. Can you just do me a favor, go back to making shorts? Well, I don't really care. Yeah, I'll feed you tomorrow if you're going to keep crying, okay? You can get, there's some bread that's nearly out of date. You can have that, all right? Well, don't
so
forget,
you just do
I'll
like
give you
a
nothing then, fuck's sake. Sorry, what?
That's all right. Do you just do like a variety of conspiracy stuff now? Just talk about
Any nonsense that flat earths or...
Can we pivot to one that it's flat earth adjacent?
Come on then.
Have you heard of the okay, so first we got to start with
Quickly, before you do though, my chat is saying they have checked and the Rogan Eric Dubay list was faked. There is never, they checked through the Wayback Machine, there has never been a list or a thing on Joe Rogan saying that Eric Dubay was going to come on. That is a fake thing done by flat earthers.
Okay. But there was a video of Joe Rogan saying on his episode. Now you can argue that it's fake or whatever, but that episode does exist.
Can someone in my chat try and find if that's the case? If Joe Rogan ever said he was going to have Eric Dubay on? Oh, my watch died. Okay, yeah. So what's this flat earth adjacent thing you'd like to talk
So
about
do you know, have you heard of the Tartaria one? Okay, probably then. Yeah. That's not necessarily the one I'm going to talk about, but that one kind of leads into it.
All right, go on then.
Okay. So the Tartaria one, to catch anybody up that might not know or whatever, is that there was like an old civilization, and they're the ones that built a lot of this grand architecture and stuff. These people think that we didn't. Oh, I got to plug in my computer. We didn't build these things. We found them. We discovered them early 19th century, early 20th century, like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's all easily debunked, of course. You just look at the history books.
Yeah.
You know.
So the one that I'm talking about is called Little Season. Have you heard of that one?
No.
Okay. So Little Season, you'll like this because Jesus is there. Okay. Little Season is based on a verse in Revelations that says, Satan, it's Revelations 20, verse 20, chapter 20, verse 3 or something like that.
Dude, is that weed? Are you struggling with that weed there?
It's not. And so it says that Satan will be released for a little season. And these people believe that the little season is the last, roughly the last 250 years, right? And before that, because in Revelation it says that Jesus, when he comes back, when he comes back again, because he tells his I can't remember which ones it is, but he tells people that he's going to come back. And that's what everybody's waiting on, right? With Revelation and everything. But these people believe that he already came back and that he reigned on earth for 1,000 years. Okay. Yes. Dude, this one is growing really, really fast. I got to go get my charger. Hang on. Oh, no, it's right here. It's right here.
Well, that sounds batshit crazy.
No, yeah. But like, it's really, really interesting. And, because I like biblical stuff.
Hey Max, how you doing? Nice to see you in the chat, my friend. Looking forward to you coming on tomorrow if you want to have a chat with Dr. Kip Davis about what Flat Earth and the Bible says. Yeah, if you want to actually, if you want to watch a really interesting stream, last Monday I had one of the world's top biblical scholars, Dr. Kip Davis, on talking about whether the Bible says that the Earth is flat, and I may be changing my position on it because I've always said that it doesn't say the Earth is flat, but there may be some indication that the authors maybe thought it was. I've got more questions for Dr. Kip Davis, and Max is going to be coming on tomorrow to join in the conversation with me and Dapper Dino. So if anyone wants to check that out tomorrow, Dr. Kip Davis, myself, Dapper Dino, and Max. And I'll have space for maybe one or two more people if anyone has any questions for the illustrious doctor, who plays the ship's archaeologist on board the USS Kongzi, of course. Viscount Vlorax, who is a Gorn. F Grudge for 5 years says the King of Germany said he wanted to knight Eric Dubé. Inquisitive Infidel for $10, thank you, says the Flat Earthers traded the truth for martyrdom complex. They're likely to spend a lifetime mistaking helpful directions for personal attacks, but that's the price of their enlightenment. I mean, I do personally attack them as well, because, all Flat Earthers are fucking idiots. I only speak the truth.
Look into the little season one, though. I look into it on your own whenever you have some free time.
Might
or
be
whatever.
interesting.
But it's
I am looking for some new things to make videos about, so that could
Jesus
be interesting.
lives at the North Pole, bro.
So Jesus, what you're saying is Jesus is Santa Claus?
Kind of. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. If he's got a physical location and Jesus is God, then I'm finding him because. Well, let me ask you a quick question. If you die and God's real and you meet God, what are you saying to him?
Probably something like, "What was all that about?" Or something like that.
I'm just punching him.
Okay.
I'm just straight up decking the guy.
Yeah, I'm hoping that whatever the afterlife is, it's there's not going to be a whole lot of like speaking in words. I just hope it's more like serenity kind of feel.
I think it's better to assume there's no afterlife. Right? I think it's better to assume that there's nothing else. This is all we have, and we should cherish what we have here. Unless you're a flat earther, then fuck off.
Do you believe in any sort of like reincarnation or any sort of life after death type thing? No.
I think our energy returns to the universe from whence it came in some form, and as simple as that. First law of thermodynamics: there is no creation or destruction of energy.
Right.
We are energetic beings. We are electrical beings with a physical body, and when we die, that energy goes back to the universe. It degrades. It becomes ashes or whatever. And the energy just goes back to the universe from whence it came. There is no afterlife. So
you don't think consciousness carries over anywhere?
I don't think so. No. I think consciousness is a construct of a human brain and electrical impulses. Consciousness is an emergent property of us having electrical signals in our brain. It's as simple as that.
I mean, but everything with brains has electrical signals in it, squirrels and shit, and birds and stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think it goes anywhere. I don't think there's anything after. But I also don't see that as a problem. For me, that means that this life is beautiful and this life is precious and this life is worth giving all that you can to it. Because you're not going to live for eternity afterwards. There is no second chance. There is no, living on in another form. This is what we get. And that makes this precious and beautiful.
Yeah, I get that. Well,
Fits of Rage for
we'll
$2 says, Stoops, it's revelation, not revelations.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, you should be sorry to Fits of Rage. Lieutenant Fitz of the USS Lexington. So do you like Star Trek?
No, I did Star Wars.
Ew, gross. Star Wars is just Star Wars is like, if you're special and chosen, you get to have the powers, which is fucking stupid. It's like, royalty and shit, but Star Trek is just, doesn't matter who you are, you can be amazing. Unless you're an Orion. Fuck the Orion.
People really like Star Wars, though. Is the fan base bigger for? I mean, it's got to be Star Wars.
I think the fan base of Star Wars has got, since Disney took over anyway, it's dropped. Somehow Palpatine returned. What do you mean he fucking returned?
Right. Yeah.
Inquisitive Infidel for $5 says, we are the patterns in our brains, and as soon as it starts to decompose, we are gone, like a candle that stops burning. I like that, yeah. Yeah, toasting the memory of Lieutenant Fitz, left to die by the commander she trusted. I mean, it wasn't really her fault that, you know, that unmarked Starfleet ship popped out of nowhere and blew up the Lexington, was it? Bloody dapper fucking game mummy. Ikator4625 says, Spock is my favorite Star Wars character. You can leave now. Okay? You can just go. Right, so come on, we'll do one more Eric Dubé lie that you like to push.
Okay. Well, I'm going to use another one that was pushed on one of the biggest platforms in the world that Roger Avery guy said.
Used to be one of the biggest platforms in the world. Used to be.
It's still one of the biggest. It has to be.
I mean, in the top 1,000, I guess.
It was... well, we kind of already talked about it, I guess. Like the stitching that he caught when they were trying to look at Rogan asked him for the ISS live stream, and he showed a video of it, but it ended up not being NASA's video, but there was stitching in the video, and you could tell that it was like CGI stuff.
Tell me what happened. I might know which video you're talking about.
I don't remember what it turned out. But all I remember is it turned out that Jamie had pulled up a video that wasn't from NASA, but it was supposed to, I can't remember. I don't know. Just like, why do they have to fake the image? Like, why are people using CGI images and trying to pawn them off as real images?
Yeah, I think the one you're talking about is literally just some kind of camera artifact. I mean, you know, they're usually broadcasting from, you know, a space station traveling 17,000 miles an hour around the Earth. And,
yeah,
you know, that is going to come with glitches and artifacts and stuff, right? And modern broadcast systems use things called P and B frames, right? So let's say you're looking at me now, right? And the camera's watching me and I'm moving around, right? So this is one frame and this is another frame. But let's say in between those frames, there's other frames where it didn't capture what I did. And what happens is the system makes up those frames. It goes, right, so there's this frame and this frame. I'm going to make up what happens in between those and connect them, right? And that can look really weird. That can look like colors and things morphing and warping. And that's just the nature of broadcast software and stuff. It uses, you know, it makes shit up when the information isn't available to continue the continuity of what's going on. And flat earthers will see those things and go, haha, it's fake. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. How much does NASA get a year? 20 billion?
Yeah, billion, so a few billion.
Let's say 20 billion, right? If you were getting 20 billion a year and you were faking anything, do you think there'd be any mistakes? If you were getting 20 billion a year, every bit of CGI you put out, every bit of fakery you put out would be perfect. It would be better than anything Hollywood has ever produced, because that's more than fucking movie producers get. You know, there wasn't 20 billion to make the Avengers movie, right? If NASA were getting all that money and just faking it, then there would be no glitches. There would be no errors. There would be nothing that anyone could ever pick up. If they were getting all of that money to just fake shit, there would be no mistakes ever. It would be the most perfect CGI that had ever existed. And the fact that there is glitches and stuff is evidence that it's not fake, considering the amount of money that they get.
Okay. Well, the argument is that NASA's just a big black money laundering operation for the most part, you know. So that the argument is they're not actually using that money to pump into, whatever videos.
So
They're
where's it
they're
going?
lowballing it. Huh?
Where's it going then?
I don't know, Intel stuff.
So NASA are a federal agency, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, part of federal law says that federal agencies have to make their budgets public and their spending public.
Yeah. But
Right?
again, the
So
argument
you
is
can
that they're
track
liars.
every little thing that NASA spend their money on. It's on their website.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the argument is the money is getting used to like black budget operations and stuff that the government wants to do, can't do, so they just funnel the money through like a money laundering situation.
Exactly that. In the chat, who is a flat earther on YouTube, says Tesla red car still floating in space. 1, not NASA. 2, yeah. 3, probably not red anymore. Probably mostly destroyed from solar radiation. 4,
Yeah,
my
where
friend,
is that thing?
well, you could ask my friend Astronomy Live, who regularly tracks it on its orbit around the Earth.
Astronomy Live?
Yeah.
I thought that was an AI account.
No, that's a real person that I speak to regularly. I've had on my show several times.
I might be thinking something else.
Measured the distance to the ISS with Red's rhetoric. Tracked the launch of most satellites ever go into space, including the Tesla car, and has tracked the orbit of the Tesla car, and many other things. Also measured the
thought that
distance
car
to the
thing
sun.
was real?
Personally. Well, yeah.
You
It
think
was.
the car? It looked really bad, man. It looked pretty fake.
What about it looked fake?
Uh, it looked like a car with what was like a robot person in there or something like that, and against some sort of backdrop or
So that
CGI.
backdrop was the inside of the payload container, which opened up and let the car out. Right? Do you know why they sent the Tesla up? Do you know what the point of it was?
No.
It was
I don't.
literally a test of Elon Musk's payload delivery system, right? It said, right, we're designing something that can lift this much into space. Elon Musk is a businessman with a car company. What better way to advertise his cars than to test his payload system by sending one of his cars up? Do you not realize how many people in the world bought a Tesla because of that video? Right?
I don't. No,
A
I
lot.
don't.
There's so many bought a Tesla because I want the same car that's in space. It was a test of his payload system, which is now used more than any other like space delivery system in the world. And that's simply what it was. It was, let's see if this payload delivery system works, and we're going to do it by putting one of my cars in there because hey, everyone's going to like that. And there's nothing fake. When they go, oh look, it was in a studio. That was literally the inside of the payload delivery system opening up to let the car out. And flat earthers push that as fake. Look, it was in a studio. No, that's the inside of the fucking payload delivery
I
system.
mean, even Elon Musk said that it looked fake, right?
He's it's just it looked real. It must be real because it looked fake. Yeah, that's just a stupid thing to say.
That's him saying it looked fake.
A lot of things look fake. You can look at the ISS feeds.
I'm just saying
and
it's not
see the
crazy
glitches
for
and stuff,
somebody.
right?
It's not crazy for somebody to think that it looked fake when the guy who's claiming that it's real says, "Yeah, it looks kind of fake."
But
So-
also he wouldn't say that it's actually fake because do you know how much money he would probably lose out if it turned out he'd faked everything?
unless it's like some sort of black budget money laundering situation. Dude, I really don't think NASA has done enough for society as a whole to
Are you
deserve
kidding?
that money. No.
See
Like,
the
I
screen in
can't-
front of you right now, the screen on your computer. You can say thanks to NASA
Yeah.
for that, right? You ever heard of the
NASA
jaws
did
of
that?
life? Yeah. NASA invented LCD screens and touch screen and stuff. You ever heard of the jaws of life that save people's lives that firefighters use? NASA. Memory foam mattresses. NASA. Lots of
I think we would have figured out. I think we would have figured out Jaws of Life without NASA. We would have figured out
But
a
NASA
giant
did
cutting
it.
device.
One
Okay.
sec. 10 things NASA invented we use.
Are you AIing it?
Yeah, I'm just going to give you a quick list
We're
of something.
doomed. We're doomed.
Right, so memory foam, scratch-resistant glasses, these. Cordless power tools, thanks NASA for that. Infrared air thermometers, NASA. Water purification systems, NASA. Freeze-dried food, NASA. Joysticks and fly-by-wire controls, NASA. Baby formula improvements, DHA and ARA, NASA. Fire-resistant
What?
materials, NASA. Satellite weather forecasting, NASA. NASA have done so much for humanity.
What was the baby formula thing?
Yeah, the like powdered milk and stuff. NASA.
No. I think we had powdered milk before NASA.
No, well, NASA were the ones that made it much more efficient. They improved the ability to have freeze-dried food and powdered milk and stuff.
So
It wouldn't be as good as it was now without
water
NASA.
Purification.
Yeah,
they might have their own water for purification, but I'm pretty sure we figured
NASA
out
increased the
water
efficiency of water purification hundreds of times over.
Got it. So a lot of these things were already around. They just said they did stuff to them to make them better. All right. That doesn't sound 60 billion a year value to me.
Okay, hold on.
You know, and especially with all these rockets
liquid
that
cooling
they're launching
garments,
and all that.
aerogel, guidance computers, space-rated lithium-ion batteries, robotic space manipulators, tracking and data relay systems, ablative heat shields, space-safe food packaging,
this is
vacuum
all stuff
welding,
for, like,
lunar dust
rockets.
mitigation. That there's many things that NASA have invented. Not all of them that we use daily, but there's a lot of daily technology. This screen on here, touch screen, NASA.
NASA made the touchscreen?
They were the ones that developed the technology for touchscreen.
I don't know. Well, I wouldn't
Lindsay
say,
Bowe says
I'm not
Velcro.
gonna-
That's a common misconception. Velcro was actually given to us by the Vulcans. Bruce Wayne for $4.99 says, I'm Craig and I think Darth Vader is the best Star Trek character. I'm going to find where you fucking live. Deplorable Ilk for £5 says, if NASA is money laundering and fake, what are the US military? Yeah, the US military get so much more money than NASA.
Yeah, I'm not saying they don't.
Yet still aren't allowed to use the British bases. Haha, get fucked. But also, let's think of what Mandel gives a good point, right? Let's think of how much money NASA get. And let's also remember they've got over 17,000 employees that need paying. They've got about 6,000 buildings that need maintenance, heating, repair, plus all the things they do in space. Most of the money NASA gets goes to paying employee wages and paying contracts to other people. Mostly Elon Musk at this point, to be fair, but,
How much does a NASA employee, what does the average NASA employee make? Like, I don't think,
let's just say it's $50,000 a year, and there's 17,000 of them.
17,000, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of them will get paid a lot more than 50,000.
They get
I don't know.
$60 billion.
But probably a lot of them get paid a lot more than 50,000. Hold on.
And what are those people doing anyway?
Rubiks, you work for NASA, right? How much do you get paid? Well, I know you only get paid when I let you go, right? But yeah, if you're going to keep crying, I'm not going to talk to you anymore, for God's sake. Honestly, having a captive in your basement is hard work.
Yeah, I bet it is.
Inquisitive Infidel for $2 says they studied nutrition since lives depend on it. Yep. I think that's probably a good place to stop for now.
That's okay.
I'm gonna save you, Stoops. Right?
Okay.
You are
man,
following someone that
is.
I'm gonna come back to you. Right. The next time we talk, I'm gonna actually create a list of all the things Eric Dubay says, and I'm gonna point out to you why they're not just false, why they're outright lies. Right. I'm also gonna keep pushing on for Joe Rogan, and I'm gonna try and get Joe Rogan to invite both Eric and me onto a show.
Here's the only issue I think that people that might you might run into with that. I think it would be more publicly accepted if it was somebody that was like already accepted as like a science guru in society.
I mean, I'm known as a science communicator. It's what I do.
Okay. I did remember hearing that Jamie guy say that he did watch some of these channels. So maybe he already likes you. Maybe he already knows. I don't fucking know. But if he could manage to get you into debate, I would think that would solve a lot of issues. If he could go on there and knock down every one of the points that he made. But I think it would need to be fair, right? Because Joe Rogan's going to sit there and probably try to, he would probably back you up because that's what he believes, right? He already
Yeah.
believes in that. So as long as it was like fair, there was like he just worked as like a regular moderator. Yeah, I think that would probably
The Jay
persuade a
Dustin
lot
says,
of
"Can I
flat
help
earthers
educate
to.
him? I speak stoner, dude. I've been a heavy weed smoker for over 20 years. I speak stoner as well. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah.
I bet you got the munchies, don't you?
Yeah, we're gonna make dumplings.
Oh, with gravy?
No, the Asian dumplings.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. Dumplings here are like a suet oat mix that you have with like brown gravy and vegetables and meat. Mm.
We have that too. We have that too.
Well, Stoops, thank you for coming on. Thank you for being cordial. At least that's a change from the normal asshole flat earthers.
Yeah, no problem, man.
But I'm going to save you. You don't need to be part of the cult of stupid, all right? You don't need to. You will be better off in your life if you just realize
okay.
that people lie to you.
I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time.
Do you want me to make it better? The Earth's not flat, okay?
I think it is, though.
But it's not. Otherwise, pilots
Okay.
would use flat Earth maps, and they don't. Pilots use literal globes to calculate their routes. This proves to you that the Earth's a globe, because this is the only thing with the accurate sizes of the countries.
All right.
If the Earth
I
was
don't think
flat,
that's gonna.
if the Earth was flat, there would be a flat Earth map that shows the accurate sizes of the countries. You wouldn't need so many different types of flat maps. You got two behind you there.
Well, yeah, I do. I got 3 actually. So yeah, okay.
And I bet
I'll
they're
work on
different
the map.
projection forms, right?
I'll try to get you a map the next time I see you. I'll see what I can do about it.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm going to be live on Friday, starting a membership drive on a record stream. When we get you back
Okay.
on then, and we can have a longer conversation with no kind of time limit and stuff, and we can see where we're going. And I'm going to aim to stop you being a flat earther during that stream.
That might be all right. Hey, can I plug my channel? I'm starting to
ahead.
grow my, it's just Stoops the Cat on YouTube. That's all
What'd
I
you do
got
on there?
anymore. I'm starting to make videos I made a couple about Indianapolis but I'm going to start doing stuff like when there's protests and things like that here. I've got enough followers now where I can do live stream stuff. So I'm going to do coverage
Stoops
of
the cat. Let me have a
political
look.
stuff downtown.
Wait, why did that stop typing? Oh, I can't spell today, for God's sakes. When I typed Stoop the Caps, literally just this debate comes up. Let me switch it to filters, channels.
Yeah. It's real small. I only have like
Right,
50.
so you've got 54 subscribers right now. I'll pop it in the link
Yeah.
to this chat, to this stream. Right. As long as you're not putting flat earth stuff on there.
I haven't. I don't think I've put any flat earth stuff on there.
All right, how about this? If I get you 1,000 subscribers, you stop being a flat earther, all right?
I don't think so. I don't think that's going to
Come
work.
on!
I don't think it's going to work.
All right, I'll just put the link
But-
in there, and I will put it in the description of this as well, so people can check you out. But yeah, if you're going live anytime, give me a shout, and I'll come on and hang with you as well.
Okay, that sounds cool.
Yeah, so you got a couple of shorts on there. Stinky the cat, is that your actual cat? Is it?
That's my new cat. Yeah,
All right, let me show people your cat, because everyone likes a cat.
she's great.
That's not the right
I
one.
found her.
That's not the right one. This is Stinky the cat. Oh, she's beautiful.
Stray.
I've got a cat that's now 20 years and 6 months old.
That's awesome.
Esmeralda, she's called, named after Esmeralda Weatherwax, Granny Weatherwax on the Discworld.
That's great.
So this is Stoops the Cat's channel. Or was that Candy Sowens?
Yeah, that's just a meme.
She's batshit crazy.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Who's this cat?
I don't know.
Anyway,
My cat that passed away is on there somewhere. A video of her.
oh, the one with the scarf on.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, cute. All right, guys. Well, Stoops, thank you for coming on. I do appreciate it. Thank you for being cordial. I also appreciate that. It's always a nice change than the normal asshole flat earthers that don't know how to have a conversation. So, yeah. And yeah, I'll get you back on Friday and we can have a bit of a longer chat. I'd like you to come with some specific things about Eric Dubay, some high altitude balloon footage and a map. And we can discuss those, all right? And I'm going to get a list of lies that Eric Dubay has told.
Okay.
All right.
I'll work on it.
All right. Take it easy and I'll speak to you soon.
All right. See you later.
See you later. Wow, there we go, guys. That was actually a relatively pleasant conversation with someone that thinks the Earth is flat. Someone that I actually think we may be able to save. Just going to put up a little poll and see what you guys think. Can we save Stoops the cat? Craig, why can't you type today? What is going on? Ah, my battery needs replacing. I'm a fucking... I see. There we go, guys. Yeah, so let's see what you think. Can we save Stoops the cat? I'm going to make that my project because I'd like to be able to... I've saved a fair few flat earthers in my time and I'd like to be able to save some more. But yeah, I'm going to say goodbye to everyone on TikTok for now. Thank you guys for watching on TikTok. I do appreciate it. Make sure you share the channel and make sure you get everyone else to follow. Pick up some followers, pick up some momentum on TikTok so I can do some more stuff over there. But thank you for watching. If you have been watching on TikTok, I do appreciate it. And end live. Peace out, TikTok. $31,600 likes, not bad. 62 shares, not bad either. And I made 11 cents. Woo, rich. Guys, thank you very much for watching tonight. I do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I'm going to go to bed to get a decent night's sleep before gym in the morning. It is push day. I'm going to go back to using... haven't done flat bench in a while because I've had a rotator cuff problem in my good shoulder. But I've been working on that and it's a lot better now. So I'm going to give a flat bench a go tomorrow and see if I can do what I used to do. I was doing 65 for 3 sets of 10. So I'm going to see if I can hit that again tomorrow, see how my rotator cuff's holding up. I also might post some stuff from the gym on TikTok more regularly, so I do appreciate that. Someone's told me to have a look at Discord. Yep, sure. You can come on. Absolutely, 100%. Rubiks has sent this. Let me get this up.
Yeah.
Without the need to... Religion, in many ways, gives you answers right now.
Yeah.
Without the need to sort of... To research it or to go on the frontier.
The lack of education and the lack of curiosity about it is one of the scariest things about new generations of kids, right? Like when the new generations are coming up, if they know less than the generation before, that's when we really start to freak out.
That would be a problem. Although
apparently on this they mention Eric Dubay, so I'll have to read that. I'll have to have a look at that. But there was never ever a time on the Joe Rogan Experience where it was scheduled that Eric Dubay and Neil deGrasse Tyson were going to go on. Not a thing. But I'm going to see if I can get on there. And if I can find Eric, if I can find his bravery, I think we should try and get Joe Rogan to host both me and Eric Dubay for a debate. That would be a lot of fun, I think. David says for $4.99, I was going to super chat, but then I saw you were making bank on TikTok. I hope you understand. Yeah, that 11 cents is going to certainly carry me through for the month. So, yeah, it's amazing. But guys, you've been amazing. As always, you are the best audience on YouTube. I love every single one of you. Not you, Gary. You know what you fucking did. Tomorrow at 11 p.m. UK time, I will have Dr. Kip Davis back on, biblical scholar, and we're going to be asking questions about whether the Bible teaches the earth is flat. I may be changing my position. I've always said no, it doesn't. I mean, I don't think it teaches the Earth is flat. That, you know, the Bible is not a book about cosmology in any way, shape, or form. But did the people that authored the Bible assume that the Earth was some kind of flat plane? Possibly. You know, I don't think there certainly was no concept of outer space and stuff in Hebrew. You know, and Hebrew cosmology was kind of enclosed and stuff. So people of that time very likely held that cosmological belief. I don't think it's the same as saying they were flat earthers. But certain language suggests that maybe that was the cosmology that they just assumed was the fact. But remember, they lived in the Middle East and they knew nothing else. You know, they never traveled really far out at sea, etc., etc. So we'll see. We'll see. Fitz of Rage says Rakia definitely means a solid surface. Means to hammer out, I think. I need to look at the Greek and the Hebrew behind it before I'm completely sure on that as well. The word chug as well is very hard to reconcile if they didn't think the Earth was some kind of flat world. That's for sure.
So we need to fly him out and have him on the show.
Yeah, he would be fun.
Fuck Eric. So we need to fly him out and have him on the show.
Yeah, he would be fun.
Fuck Eric Dubay. If he's ever on the show, I want to be outside waiting with a fucking baseball bat.
I think you could gain a lot from sitting down with a guy like this and just sort of picking him apart, because you would realize what he was wrong about, and instead of him being able to just spout off on a YouTube video, he would be checked at every step of the way whenever he said something incorrect.
So we need to fly.
Who's he talking about? All right, guys, start messaging Joe Rogan. Start messaging Joe Rogan. Start tweeting at his producer to get me and Eric Dubay on Joe Rogan, because that'd be fucking awesome. Yeah, I do want to say thank you to all of you for watching. It means the absolute world. Tomorrow night, me, Kip Davis, Dapper Dino, Max, and Borg Emporia, Super Turtle, will be having a nice conversation about that. About whether the Bible is a flat Earth book, etc. I've got another debate planned on Wednesday, with someone. They won't even give me their real fucking name. This guy. Has a thing on Facebook called Tanaka Off-Road, Tatunka Off-Road Recovery. And is pushing flat earth stuff. So I've got them agreed to a debate at 10 p.m. On Tuesday, not Wednesday. Fuck. Okay, so Tuesday. And then I'll see if I can get some for Wednesday as well. But starting on Friday, let me just check the calendar. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is on Friday, starting with my Star Trek, it's going to be the start of a membership drive stream. So the record is 72 hours, right? Timer starts 45 minutes. Every new member adds 3 minutes to the timer. In the first hour, it's going to be doubled. So if you donate, become a member or gift membership in the first hour, it adds 6 minutes to the timer. Also, every £10 worth of super chats adds another 3 minutes or 6 minutes in the first hour. And we're going to see if we can beat the record of 72 hours. So I'm probably going to take Thursday off to rest and get ready for it. And then starting Friday, we're going to see how long we can go with a new membership drive. And I would love to see you there supporting the channel. That always means the world. But we're going to end for tonight so I can go and get some sleep, ready for the gym in the morning. But before I go, really important question. Really, really, really important question. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars?
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Should be wishing for a brain right now, brain right now, brain right now.
Good morning. These words come with a storm warning. Better batten down the hatches, grab some matches and brace yourself for a long day of misery. YouTube has given me the power to reach up into the sky and show you all that we live on the ball. I bring you science that's comprehensible. Your view is indefensible. You're reprehensible. Go on, Mr. Sensible. When I was young, I never thought I would be here to see this. A pile of random monsters dressed up as bulls. Your ignorance will be the death of us all, like running head first, full speed into a wall. You could always read a book, buy a telescope, set it up and take a photo of the moon, or just be a buffoon. I send you in a balloon up to the stratosphere on page 3.
You're a few fries short of a happy meal. You're dumber than a box of hair. The wheel's spinning but the hamster's dead, and you're as smart as bait. You forgot to pay your brain bill. You're missing a few buttons on the remote control. 24 cents short of a quarter. You're surfing in Nebraska. You're as bright as Alaska in December, and you fell out of your family tree. You don't have all the cornflakes in one box. You got an IQ of 2 and it takes 3 to grunt. The elevator doesn't go all the way up, and there's a vacancy on the top floor. Your antenna doesn't pick up all the channels. You're several nuts short of a fruit
You're Mr.
cake.
Sensible, calm down, don't go too hard. You don't need the hassle of burying Flerfs in your backyard. You're a man of science, poise and grace. Mage 2 did everything to wipe the grins off the face. So Nathan, get away from those kids. The world is not flat and it doesn't have a lid. Recognize the differences between the textbook and the Bible and control yourself. Lay off your slander and your lies. You're a bunch of knobs poisoning the world of the youth, spreading lies that you like to claim as knowledge and truth. Stop spreading fresh bullshit like the butter on your bread. Maybe a musical assault and knock some sense into your head. I hope one day you'll hear these lyrics and smile, and you realize you used to be a 40-year-old child. Now it's time to wake up, open your eyes and see, and acknowledge the existence of.
You're a few clowns short of a circus. Your phone is off the hook. Your sewing machine is out of thread. You're all foam and no beer. You don't have all your dogs on one leash. An intellect rivaled only by garden tools. There's no grain in your silo, and your skylight leaks a little. Your belt doesn't go through all the loops. You couldn't pour water out of a boot without instructions on the heel. Your slinky's kinked, and you're proof that evolution can work in reverse. A few feathers short of a whole duck, one fruit short of a full bowl.
Airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars. Should be wishing for a brain right now, brain right now, brain right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Should be wishing for a brain right now, brain right now, brain right now.
You thought it was over? Well, I'm still standing while you're swinging, flinging feces, talking shit just like the human centipede. You got the mind of a chimp, and I'm here to expedite your shore leave. Cause I'm a seaman, but not the kind I rit up when your mom's gums. I'm the kind that sailed submarines and fired guns. I could float a boat across the ocean with my eyes closed, circumnavigate the globe with a compass and a bag of sausage rolls. Well, all you can do is nibble on your toes. I'll smack you with the hose that you call a water level, sit and swivel. You nasal gazing muppet, you can stuff it harder than the wallet stuffed by Warren Buffett. And I don't care about your sauces unless you're serving them, and I don't care about your lines unless you're curving them. Now step away from me, you're sucking up my oxygen with the vacuum where your brain should be, you dumb fuck. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I do appreciate it. You know that your support means the absolute world to me. I will see you all tomorrow, and then Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and then Friday. Remember that stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth.